I'm of the opinion that yo.
Yo.
Oh, I missed the thing again. Dang it.
Damn it!
It's better when it's off timing. You just have to jump in and do it, no matter what time it is.
Yeah, like you can still do it now.
Do it now. Do it.
Oh.
Flawless.
Yeah.
Why are you guys not showing up? You guys were showing up pre-stream. Hold on one tick. I'm gonna push a button. I'm gonna push a button real quick. Hi. Huh, weird. Fujitech worked before the stream, but isn't net. There you guys are. Hi. So. Wanna play a game? Yeah.
I find it funny how many times it's like I have in my brain it goes, do I or do I just want to talk more with you guys?
Honestly, that's fair, and we should just have some more time to survive, and I'd be entirely down for that.
I had a thing I was gonna mention earlier. I can finish that off too.
Yeah, sure, please.
Like, remember that you were mentioning the going berserk and taking people out thing? We had a section, we had a moment that we were playing, it was me, Jade, and Kashak, I think. Or it might have been Mini Diablo, I can't remember.
It was Kashak.
Okay. We did one with one of them and we did the one with the other one. So I was trying to remember which one for the stream. Either way, like, I was the only one that survived in a fight with other players. Like, I managed to finish off the last person and had like a sliver of health left. And then the zone was closing in, so I didn't have the time to actually loot anyone, or I was just gonna die. So I just had to run past enemies with no health, dodging attacks, and I got a clip on my channel actually, the Sprig Ultra Instinct, where I started using a surgical kit and like, I think I walked away just in the slow walk while using it, dodged one skeleton, walked past one while I was standing up, jumped onto a crate over an attack, and then sidestepped a swing while I was on the crate, jumped over another one where they broke the crate, finished healing myself, slipped around the two of them, and escaped out a door.
Nice.
So, let's hear a recap of the last session. Yes.
Alright.
Does anybody want it, or should I make a very
I think
basic...
you should do it this time.
Yee.
Okay. Okay, so last time we made some nice health clothing for the kobolds to treat the dragon. Then we decided to continue on our journey and see what else is up in the mountains, dog. And we saw that this is where the goblins from that big Looker Hulk ship are moored at. And let's see, we've decided that we figured out that they have slaves on board with relatively okay treatment. We discovered that this little building here is like another forge, or was it? No, that's another cold house. And we found a fish dog. I forgot his name. Dogfish.
His name is Dogfish.
Yes.
We found a fish dog.
Fish dog.
You found Dogfish, the half-orc spy, if you will.
Yes. Who has infiltrated the Looker Hulk, or so he says. He could have been captured, but he might be just keeping that away from us for now. However, unfortunately, as we exited, apparently stuff do be going down in Purple Town, which is here, which are meant to be traps, but it's Purple Town, it's goop. That's how I'm choosing to see it. That's my unprepared summary, and you do not want those.
I mean, I got what I paid for.
So we had finished up with helping Amustotas as much as we could. And then we made some personal protective equipment for the kobolds before we left. Then we were guided through the mountains by said kobolds so that we could reach the Goblin Hulk, whereupon we discovered this area, and we've learned that the slaves and prisoners are forced to speak in a certain dialect for the goblins. And we ran into Dogfish while we were here. And it was Rodalak and Kaz and Flicker went on to the ship to meet with Dogfish. And Soba and Cece, seeing as they would stick out an awful lot more, remained off the ship and prepared a little ambush spot just in case.
Yeah.
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 Just to recap the same recap.
Yeah.
To recap the recap.
Yes.
Exactly.
One of these days, I'm just gonna write down a recap before time, so I actually don't embarrass myself when I'm trying to do these.
Oh, you're fine.
And Soba disassociated for over half of the session.
True.
Just, like, she saw a butterfly and was just like, "Ooh."
Oh,
I see
speaking
where
of,
this is going.
I'm assuming you saw the last VOD though.
I did. I know what happened. It was just kind of, all of you have really bad Soba impressions. Disappointed.
Oh yeah.
That's correct.
I guess I could try, because I have, I am the closest one here to accent.
Yeah, you are. I love how I went for like non-specific Slavic, and people just say, "Oh, that's Hungarian." I'm like, I have never met a Hungarian in my life. I will take your fucking word for it.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you the difference either.
Soba is not Hungary. Soba ate 5 children on the way here.
I really like the recaps because they help me recognize what stood out the most to you guys.
It helps to recap, it helps the DM to see, like, what was the important notes to the players.
Exactly.
Well, my brain always analyzes it in form of like little events. So so it's like, do I note that he spoke in a specific way of talking? So far it hasn't been relevant, so no real event has been cataloged. It's kind of like a selective computer language in that sense.
Yeah.
It was just an important thing to me to note because it was something that we had a moment actually discussing about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a moment that we role-played around being a thing.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Yeah.
But yes, Dogfish is with you now and is not far off. The structure over here seemed to be crying some sort of red crystal tear out of the eyes, not like flowing, but like there's a small buildup of them on the ground around it and around the sockets. And I'm sure that's fine. That's probably normal.
Yeah.
That, and just you've noticed a healthy amount of I'm just gonna say ruins. There's a healthy amount of ruins and things that are relatively unaccounted for. And then you came across some goblins that were fighting some cockatrices. roughly in between you and the camp.
Very
And
annoying.
there are many ways that you can go about about this, and I'm really curious, genuinely, to find out what do you all do.
Have they spotted us, or did we like
No.
see them?
They
Okay,
have not.
that-
Well, first
They're
things first, we
probably
should
pretty
hide.
occupied with the giant petrifying chickens.
What was that?
So
I think first things first, we should probably hide and observe a
Mhm.
little bit.
Yep.
Soba is just kind of thinking this out and just kind of thinking out loud, like in low tones. He's like, "If we help giant bird, no less goblins makes it easier to free slaves. Yes, maybe bird will be friend."
Maybe Bird won't be friend though, and maybe there's goblin reinforcements. I think it might be best if we wait. Just so that we don't give away our ambush spot before we know our friends are safe at least.
Meanwhile, the friends on the other side are thinking the exact same.
Basically, yeah. Like, shh, get back.
also, the maybe bird friend. Meanwhile, I see on your model the chicken leg, and I just fucking lose it.
Look, sometimes bird is friend, sometimes bird is food. Bird understand.
Understand.
I know,
Makes sense to me.
that one.
Also, Soba's got a bunch of feats that make interacting with animals easier, so she's not
Yeah.
entirely off her fucking gourd on this
Yeah,
one.
I know, but it's just funny imagery. wise.
Surely Bird knows how delicious Bird is.
Yeah. If bird could eat bird, bird would eat bird. Just saying.
Birds eat birds all the time.
Yeah, I was
gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think chickens actually do eat each other.
Oh, chickens will eat it damn near anything.
Turkeys will eat themselves.
Wait,
Each
what?
other.
What?
Yeah,
This
this is I've heard stories about this
Horrifying.
from someone who farms turkeys. If they get like an injury and they have like a wound, they will try to eat themselves from their wound because they're so delicious, apparently.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna have nightmares. Anyways.
That's hardcore.
Like that's almost as bad as like deer just leaning or horses leaning down and just eating chicken babies.
Oh, don't remind me of that. Don't remind me
A
of
snack
that.
that smiles back.
Perceptions from everybody.
to see how wrong this line of thought was. The delayed response made it better. Oh, I got a nat.
27,
Oh,
I think.
I got a nat one.
That
Great
is-
start.
Beautiful. That's what we want to see.
Oh crap! I'm trying to remember how to read this. I'm trying to remember how to read this sheet. What did I get just then? 18 was it?
18 on the die.
So that's 26.
15.
26.
All right. Rodelac?
Okay. Let's make that roll and hope it works out. I really thought that was a 1 at first.
Well,
With
I took that hit for you, man. You're
21.
Okay, okay. And what was your total cost?
15.
15? Okay. So basically everybody except for Koss and
Flicker.
and Flicker, who is just Flicker is very highly distracted.
Bird.
You notice each other. First of all, you do recognize where exactly you are in relation to the.
Hello, friend.
B, it does look like the goblins are signaling with loud chirps, and the one in the center is being heavily guarded by all of the other goblins involved, and appears to be some sort of caster. It's,
Sorry. I was gonna
It's
ask,
pre- it-
are they...
Go ahead.
Okay, when you say signaling, like, do they have, like, horns? Or, like, are they just going like, hey! It's fucking shit over here!
Oh, they screaming. They're just straight up screaming at the top of their lungs.
I just figured we heard that before we even saw them.
Yeah, that was kind of what called you guys over here. This, for the people who rolled over 20, does appear to be some form of something between a druid and a warlock.
Multiclasser.
Filthy multiclasser.
I'll never
And
be
they are-
pure.
They are fighting. The goblins are using the usual goblin tactics of being angry and making a lot of noise, which is highly effective against animals and does cause many animals to panic and move back a little bit, which is gives them a bit of an upper hand against what would otherwise be an overwhelming fight.
Oh, Jade, I'm sorry to interrupt this, but I think we've completely not even said hi to Polearms since they came in.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
I said I.
They have not said a single thing, and I had to point it out.
No, I said a couple things. I heard him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think my brain deleted that information.
Oh, it's fine. I mostly I got in and immediately had to have a conversation with someone in actual real life.
Mm-hmm.
So I was muted for a significant amount of time. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
All good.
Can I just like real quick? I just want to say something. Maybe it's because I was playing Baldur's Gate earlier and magic is the evil, but my brain immediately went. Soba's first instinct is throw a giant boulder at the caster. I mean, I could do it. I remember I can throw. I'm a large creature. I can throw not gargantuan. I can throw huge objects. I don't know. I won't engage. I won't like force the combat, but I just really want to just hit that caster with a fucking rock.
It just makes me think of like the 4 gnome barbarian or fighter party where they just throw each other towards the enemy.
Oh yeah, no, that's excellent.
That's optimal.
While we are in the midst of this while this stuff is going on in the midst of mayhem, I think would it be okay if Cece takes advantage of her alchemical crafting skills and I do have quick repair as well if that matters any. She can try to whip together a quick little batch of sneezing powder.
Sneezing powder?
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, you have cooking materials that Soba's carrying, so it wouldn't be terribly hard to get some simple peppers and ground up nice and fine.
Pepper.
Plus, she does carry her alchemist tools with her everywhere.
No,
Yeah.
I only have one question. Are you doing the polite kind that is mostly black pepper, or are you doing the rude kind that's mostly cayenne?
Definitely the cayenne.
Oh god. Oh
Yeah,
god.
this is she is distilling the capsaicin out of the spicy peppers and then concentrating and dehadrating it.
Oh, that's
sneezing powder and more
mean.
like a
Oh my
mace
god.
bomb.
What was that, Cuss?
I said it's less like a sneezing powder and more like a pepper spray bomb kind of thing.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking mean. I love it.
I'm gonna let you make a Seiruri Dan, actually, then. It's something that would be well within your skill set and ability to make.
Okay.
It's a hollowed out, it's an eggshell that's been hollowed out that you fill with peppers in it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just crack it and throw it at an enemy. It's actually a technique that was used by.
Well, I can't really improvise anything as I have none of my stuff on me.
I want to throw rock.
The cockners are having the upper hand, but with the cacophony of yelling, you hear some noises behind you,
I prepare a rock. No, I'm kidding.
in the direction of the.
Wait, behind who?
Behind the expeditionary party, rather. From the direction of the ship.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm
no.
gonna roll
So-
observation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say I'm still
Soulbias
distracted.
is starting to look around for a big rock. Cece will actually hold up the egg for her.
The
17.
the egg.
Give her
Wait.
an egg in these trying times.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just throw this really hard at the caster's face.
Someone's gonna look a little confused, but like she will do. What do I have to roll to egg?
Hold on a second. We have another
Don't.
roll we have to resolve
you
first.
You don't need to yet.
Oh.
Just if
Okay,
things
sorry.
break down.
Okay.
So,
but Reddy's egg.
So from
It does not
from
fall.
behind.
Sorry.
So Rodolak, you can't quite make out the number, but there are goblin responses, and they are probably about 5 minutes away, maybe a little bit less by your reckoning. So they are on the way, maybe halfway between the ship and where you are.
All right, I'm gonna try something. I'm hidden, right?
Yes. Well, yes. Right now you are considered hidden from all parties involved.
All right. To the rest of the group here, I think it would probably be advantageous if these goblins did not do very well in this fight. Considering the less goblins we deal with here, less goblins we'll deal with later.
That is true.
So, I'm gonna do something, and that might be considered perhaps not perhaps potentially unwise. I'm going to make this roll. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to maintain my stealth and throw my voice mimicking a goblin. First off, do I know enough about cockatrices to know that they might have like certain abilities?
Yes, though these are like the displacer beast, these are divergent from the species that you would be familiar with. So
Okay.
you can infer things, but you're not certain that these are going to mirror.
Would I be able to infer that these cockatrices would benefit from forcing somebody to make a will save?
That's a
If I recall, the whole thing about the cockatrices are like, make a will save. If not, you are now statue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, sure.
All right.
What's a
All right.
will
So I'm
save?
gonna do this. I'm gonna mimic a goblin's voice, and I'm going to target the spellcaster, the naturalist.
Mm-hmm.
As said, caster's supposed to be of good by now. Implying that the spellcaster is terrible at his job, fighting these
Jesus.
two cockatrices. And I'm going to trigger Bon mot. I launch an insightful quip, distracting them. I must now roll a diplomacy check against their willpower.
It's
Just-
a good thing you specialize in that.
It's not so much a
Yup.
diplomacy check as it is a bullying check. My God.
I mean,
Well, diplomacy or performance, but yeah, the stat is diplomacy for the ability.
what do we got here? All right,
Oh?
let's check to see what we got
Yeah.
here. With my diplomacy, that is a 24.
Nice.
Does that
All
count
I-
as a critical success?
Let me double check, but I'm fairly sure it do.
Well, all I know is I wouldn't mind running into ratmen or rats of incredible size or
ROUSs? I don't think they exist.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard tales.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what it is, but the idea of fighting Skaven is always like I don't
Sure
think
answer
it's
is-
used enough. I don't think it's used enough. You don't have to call them Skaven, but fighting Redmen always feels like it's a just different enough kind of enemy that they're the second kind of enemy next to undead. That's like, yeah, we're fighting these, and I have no.
I mean,
problem.
let's be honest. Like, I don't think you can do.
Okay, so
I don't think
just
you
a regular
can do
success?
Ratman.
All right,
That is a
here's what
critical
happens.
that is a critical success.
Okay, here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The target, the spellcaster, is now distracted and takes a -3 status penalty to all perception and will saves for a minute.
Jesus.
That's significant.
If they want to stop this, they will have to end the effect early with a retort of their own. However, this can either be a single action that is the concentrate trait, or an appropriate skill action to frame their retort. However, they have no idea where I am.
Exactly.
They gotta know where you are to call you a bitch.
It's like just the idea that Rodalak throws his voice, sits down, like dusts his hands off. It's like, and now we wait.
My work here is done.
You just called them a name. God, this fucking game.
It is.
Because if those kobolds lose that, sorry, not the kobolds. If those goblins lose that spellcaster to a bad will save, oh boy, this is not going to go well for them.
They get back to the base, and it's like, how did you die? Mean man called us a name.
I have anxiety.
Wouldn't be that.
You didn't have anxiety when you went out. Well, I do now.
Wouldn't that be the worst way to end up in the afterlife? I got insulted to death.
Yeah.
Look,
Bard.
that's the best part about playing Bard.
This is going to go great until, Jade has the meta figured out and he has to have a self-esteem team come into every battle.
Look, all future encounters involve a hype squad. As well they should, as they should have always, to be honest.
It's like the trauma team from Cyberpunk, but it's like oh, you're doing okay, buddy. Come on, man. You can do this.
There's
They
just
just come
5
out.
goblins with pom-poms at the back of every room.
You can do it. Be aggressive.
Don't die, or else we will die. You can do it.
All right. Let me just make a roll that I'm certain is not going to affect anything. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So, yeah, that actually does push it over. So, yeah, that does in fact work. Though the naturalist in the course of the fight does get hit, is looking around frantically trying to find who would dare, whomst would dare, and they forget the cardinal rule of fighting any sort of cockatrice, and that is, to keep your eyes on their body and not on the face. And it's not stone, rather it is a paralysis, and they sort of crumple to the ground. As if it was a neurotoxin.
I was gonna say they just turn into statues of butter.
My brain autocorrect was said hard candy.
Sorry, you're just making me think. I am now mortified because you just injected the thought into my head of a cockatrice, but instead of like a chicken head, it's Paula Dean's face.
Oh no!
Wait. Oh, I need
Butter.
to look. Paula Dean?
Paula Dean.
Paula Dean,
Yeah, Paula Dean. She's an American TV chef who's known for putting butter on everything and being incredibly racist.
Yes.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm looking at a picture and it's not flattering.
No. No,
No,
like
it's
she
not.
is single-handedly at fault for like the majority of American heart attacks between the years of 2000 and 2012.
It's funny because I've been watching the Looney Tunes show, and the last episode I saw was the one where Bugs got addicted to Porky's all butter feast.
You mean
Yeah.
Buster?
Butter.
What?
You mean Buster?
No, I mean Bugs. Bugs Bunny.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said butter for something.
No,
For
no.
some reason.
Yeah, no. Porky it was an episode where Porky's a caterer and he did his grandma's recipes, and they were all heavily incentivized the use of butter, and Bugs got addicted to it.
Oh boy. All right. So yeah, this is probably not going well for them. Do we want to ambush the rest of these guys, or let the cockatrices keep going at it?
Nah, I'd say we keep pretending to be slaves, even if they find us. What are they gonna do? We just say, "Oh, we good slaves. We out here picking berry. We watch."
Well,
I
no. What I mean
mean-
is that like we have an opportunity here where they're distracted. None of them. They're far enough away from the boat that they can't do an alarm.
That is true.
At the very least,
And,
they're
you
distracted
know-
with the cockatrice.
Yeah,
And
let's wait till
maybe-
they.
I was gonna say, and like since cockatrices, they're beasts, right? They're not aberrations.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, like, we might not have to fight the cockatrices if Soba rolls well. And I will remind y'all that Soba's got like a +8 on talking on like dealing with animals.
I mean, yeah, sure. Let's wait for the goblins to like the reinforcements to come in here, and
Yeah.
then we just ambush them from behind. We pincer them.
Yeah.
Well,
Worst
here's
case
what I can
scenario,
do.
we have some cockatrices. Wait, best case scenario, we have some cockatrices that are like chill and like willing to help us, like, you know, knock down the boat later on.
Real
Soba.
quick.
You know.
Okay.
I'm going to make a gesture at Soba, who's probably watching this whole thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
She's just holding the egg.
Egg.
Lure the cockatrice over to you and see if the goblins get hit by the traps.
And see if the goblins what?
So the goblins will chase after the cockatrice and get hit by the traps.
I'm not sure if that makes logical sense. I mean, if they were hunting for them, maybe, but we don't know
Well,
that.
the cockatrice is still like a problem to the goblins, and they don't they just lost one of their allies to this, and they're bringing on reinforcements and stuff. So we might be able to lure them to kill them.
Okay, I think I
and they
get.
hit
I
by
think
the
I get it.
traps. You get what I mean?
okay.
Like chase,
Yeah,
giving
okay.
chase. We want to get them to give chase.
Real
Uh,
quick, Soba.
Hi.
Hi. Could I
Hello.
get a nature and a perception from you and from you and Cece?
All right. So first up, nature. So that is a 26
Okay.
and
No,
a and a 20 and a 22. 26 nature and 22 perception.
13 perception.
All right. It would not be normal for a cockatrice to be fight in this fight. More normal would be for cockatrice to run away from this fight because, well, they're wild animals who tend not to get into fights where they're outnumbered unless they're protecting something. Or if they're sick or injured or just
Running away
Disconcerted.
from a very, very orderly forest.
But on that note, one of the cockatrice goes down as a knife slides into its feathers, with a satisfying but rather confusing clink.
A clink.
Can
Interesting.
can I try and make like a cockatrice call, like just You know, like how duck hunters make like a duck call, just like make like a cockatrice call of like, hey, friends over here, kind of thing. What would I need to roll for that? Would that be in nature?
Nature or performance.
Nature is better. Zoba just kind of like cups her faint hands around her mouth and rolls a 7. Plus 8. That's a 15. 15.
You just go quack.
Quack. Oh shit! It was Dr. Cole.
In the midst of the thick of the melee, it is not enough.
No, they can't hear me. Poor babies.
The naturalist falls. Right. Fall over. Model. Heck.
Press F.
Sure. I was hoping to put it on his side, but apparently it's not about that.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it manually. That's
I
the
can do
one.
it.
Honestly, that's the one thing I.
Or it's really well balanced.
Oh wait, is it? Does that have the setting of like?
I think we're
always
still on.
up?
You know what it is? We're actually still on grid. Hold on, let me do it. Take off
It's,
snap
al-
grid.
it's also an auto raise. It's also an auto raise.
Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just the weight is. I think it's the whole model itself doesn't actually have a collision,
I think you're right. Yeah, that's why I can do this.
and it's just a coin basically.
Yeah.
Is why it'll
Yeah.
always go to one side or the other.
The hologram.
Hologram. So
Are you
it
guys
does
gonna-
want to
can-
help the cockatrices out.
No, it's
Say
fine.
what?
Go ahead.
So how many goblins are alive right now?
Is it what we
6,
see, or-
though 2 of them are on death's door, and the cockatrice is not looking good either. For the record.
Which goblin looks like it's gonna cause most hassle to the goblin?
Probably this ranger who's been able to stay back and just keep throwing arrows at it.
I would like to throw egg at him.
All right, give me an attack roll with a thrown weapon.
Like the idea.
Hmm?
Like the idea that Soba would have just like thrown the rock, and because of the battle, just a random rock falls out of the sky, and the goblins are just confused by it.
And no, this is the mace egg. So that is plus 7. That's an 18.
Okay, that will hit. Now roll stealth.
Let's be honest, it's Soba. Okay, instead of stealth, can I just use sudden charge?
No sense in not trying.
Yeah.
Are you trying to be subtle? I guess is the real question.
No, Soba wants to protect the animal.
All right.
Like, yeah, so she's just gonna huck the egg at the ranger, and then she's just gonna do a sudden charge, if that's okay. Because like she sees this cockatrice about to die, and she does not want the animal to get hurt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so she just hucks the egg at the ranger, and then uses her sudden charge ability to just like as she's running, she brings her sword up and just hits him. I get to stride.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. She gets to stride twice and then strike.
Alright.
So that is ow. But that is still a 12.
It takes more focus than you expected to make sure that you don't trip any of the traps. So you don't. So by the time you get over there, you have lost a bit of your momentum. And
Okay.
So I'm gonna do my little comment. Like when she runs out, Flicker just, dear Lord, she's running out like Sir burn 'em all.
Because the entire time, Soba's just like, no, hurt the birdie!
and you all see this, and how do you go forth?
I'm sorry. I literally don't think Soba could have won that stealth roll.
I think I'm the
Fine.
only one of us with a weapon. Well, except for Dogfish. His fists are registered weapons, of course.
Dogfish is a weapon.
Yeah. Kennedy, I forgot. Did you?
I have a stabby dagger. It's
And
meant
Okay.
for parrying.
That's true. You can seal the weapon successfully.
Yeah. Okay. So me and Magus have
Parry this Dex nerd.
Kaz is not the sort to really use a sword, I don't think, right?
Correct. You can't disarm me.
I mean, this is the same situation of Brock when the one guy, Brock Sampson, where the one guy, you'll have to relinquish your weapon. Go ahead.
Do it.
Take it.
Anyway, initiatives, I guess.
Would you like to make this a proper combat encounter, or would you like to simply abstract it? I'll leave this up to you
I
guys.
mean,
There
I
will be more
would like
combat
to-
later.
I'd rather abstract it personally.
Yeah,
I'd like to
I think
abstract
this
this.
one. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay with abstracting. I'm just
So
asking.
I see Soba out there, and I really don't want to get hit by things again. So I cast Enlarge on Soba, as long as I can do that from range.
You can literally
what's your
see
range
that
on that?
from them.
Let me double check that, because if I have to get close, then that's bad. But 30 feet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Should
Okay.
be
She
fine.
She can just step on them now.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How big does that make me? Does that make me up by one size thing?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It only takes you up to size large, which you already are.
Okay, here's the thing though. No. I
Wait.
count as size large for swinging weapons and throwing things, but I am a medium creature.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah,
So
you're
now
large.
I'm a large creature that counts as huge.
Oh no. Amazing.
I'm gonna be honest. Using enlarge and it only can make you so large. It feels like it's a complete waste of the spell in a sense.
I think that's why Giant Instinct keeps your size, but then keeps your size and then just increases what you count as for attacking and throwing. That's specifically why I think. I can throw gargantuan objects now.
Neat.
Oh god.
Wow.
That's funny.
so- Jade, you can no longer block.
If I cast it at a higher level, it will make things bigger than large. I could
Throw the
eventually
boat.
Make,
I could
I could
pick up this
Silva
tree.
huge, and when we get even higher level, I can do it to all of us.
Wait, actually, quick question. Given how, would she be larger than the tree line now, or
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
it's not like I'm not physically huge. I just count as huge for
the
lifting,
sake of
throwing, and swinging
Lifting
things.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you know what you have to do. You have to take that tree and swing and kill all the enemies.
Yes, I'm going to hit them with the tree.
At least for how it works in D&D, I don't know if it works the same way on the enlarged
I mean,
stuff here.
in D&D, if I remember, it does.
Your
yeah.
size doubles, increasing
Yeah.
you in size category by 1.
Yeah.
This just
So
says
she
Boy.
would be twice as tall as she is now, so she'd be like the same height as like the smaller trees.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
thing
because
is, though-
Soba's like 9 feet tall. Soba's
thing
9
is,
feet
though-
tall.
You are much larger, but you feel
Yeah,
a
that's-
little unstable.
Oh no.
oh yeah, that's probably true.
You are much larger, and you know the source of that, but you ever just, have one of those ADHD moments where you just sort of disassociate? And you
no.
your arms are doing that.
Oh boy.
Your arms
My
are
arms are
somewhere.
disassociating?
Yes, they feel like they are not correct. They feel like they're lagging when you move them, and every once in a while you glance down and your proprioception is off. That is to say, they aren't where you think that they were supposed to be.
Oh no.
It's fine, I'm sure.
Cost, this is just your normal state of being.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, this is not good.
So I'm gonna do this a little bit for now. Yeah, this seems about right.
Yeah, that
Let me know
tracks.
when I can attempt something.
You're golden.
May I go then?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. First, I need to figure out the distance that I got here going on. Hold on.
We're abstracting it, so you don't have to. You don't have to
We're
sweat
abstracting. All right. So I'm going to use my stealth to surprise the kobold, the goblins. I keep saying kobold. I'm sorry. There are so many kobolds in here.
it. It's true.
I'm a dragonborn. That
As
doesn't help.
I'm going to pull a Looney Tunes bit here. I'm going to run up at full speed at one of the goblins, and using and put my arm around their shoulders as an athletics check to disarm by startling them. I'm going to point at the cockatrice and say, "He's trying to give you the stink eye," and then just run off into the bushes. to try and provoke the cockatrice into staring at the goblin.
Nice.
I am using this as as my first action to disarm, and my second action is Bon Mot.
Jesus Christ, I love that so much.
Right. Give me your attack.
Will you
roll
allow
first.
this?
Absolutely.
It's not a reflex against athletics.
Is reflex against? Okay, yeah, no, it is. But... Sure.
That is a 23
That is a hit.
to disarm. If it's a critical success, they've been disarmed. And now my diplomacy check.
Which I'm sure will go fantastic.
That is a that is a 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is not a 29.
I say this very loudly to get the cockatrice's attention to provoke. So I'm gonna be running up and just like, "He's giving you the stink eye." Oh shoot!
Why
And
do
then
you
just-
just
And
sound
then
like
you
a
died.
The
why do you
goblin
sound like a
sta-
lackadaisy character? That's the question.
the goblin
I mean, he-
stares at the cockatrice, likely fails the will save, and then he just runs into the bushes.
The rest of the goblins are confused by this random kitsune popping in.
Oh,
They actually do pass the will save barely.
At
But-
-3.
Yeah, it's wait. What? So what? Wait, hold on. What's the target number for the save? I mean, you need to check.
It's a will save, but when Bon Mot, they've been affected by Bon Mot, they get a -3 to perception and their will saves.
That was 14 on the die. Minus 3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You resisted it?
No.
No,
okay. I like the idea of the goblin like very confusingly looking at the cockatrice. The cockatrice looks back, gives a glare, and you just hear and he falls over. It's just
And I-
Rodelac runs into the bushes yelling, "Major Look!"
God.
Nice.
Such
I-
a fucking
that-
goober. I love him.
Can I try something?
Absolutely.
Do it.
I'm seeing this tree here. Can I hit like a big branch and in such a way that it splits off? Because I do essentially have like a high power mini cannon here,
Yeah,
and
you should-
falls on like 2 of these maybe.
That should be a thing.
Okay.
Go ahead and it'll be an attack roll.
I keep forgetting. What do I add for the attack roll? Like, what's the? I always keep forgetting that somehow.
I believe
is it-
it's
Oh yeah,
believe-
it's
Dex
flintlock
plus
it's a
proficiency?
+8. Yeah, it says here +8 for the flintlock musket, quote unquote. Come on. 18.
Yeah, against a stationary target. That works.
Yay.
Give me 2 damage rolls, each of which are a d8.
Okay. So 2d8s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, 7s.
Okay. You just crush them.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Good. I was correct on the calculations this time.
This time.
Cece, are
Yeah.
you doing anything with this? Sorry, let's flicker. We can finish up.
Me do something or somebody else?
Do you have anything else to finish up with?
No, that was just my strategy.
Fair enough.
And I made my comment, so sorry. Go ahead.
Cece will move up behind the bush here, and she is going to send a couple of her spiders to go and abduct the goblin that is suddenly like hacking and sneezing and draining
no.
their sinuses violently at the same
Oh
time.
no.
Oof.
Does your pet have its own a stat block? What can it roll?
I've just been using the tamper ability on my sheet for it, because I can use it through my constructs.
Okay.
Up until now, at least.
Yeah. And that's just a straight crafting check. My goodness. Okay.
Yep.
Alright, go for it.
So let's say 16.
That will not be enough to abduct the goblin, but it will distract.
And the second one. That is a 26.
That's enough to bind and restrain the goblin who with their current status.
So basically the pair of them are just 2 little metal spiders suddenly climb up his legs and start winding steel wire around his arms and legs.
That's it, you're getting kidnapped.
All right. We can call this abstracted combat here, unless there's anything else
Yeah,
in particular.
I think Soba can just pick these 2 up by just grabbing them.
Unironically, yes.
He is just the one that's still in the fight, is the warrior who's been beaten up on by the cockatrice.
Which is the one I said was on death's door.
I want to pick him up and just throw him directly upwards.
Okay.
Gravity will solve the problem.
Goblin rocket taking off again.
Yeah.
First goblin astronaut.
Yeah.
The Goblin Space Program.
So we're just gonna I'm just gonna roll athletics even just because it's an 8 fucking plus okay, so that's 18, assuming I don't get any bonuses from being technically a huge creature.
You do get several bonuses for being that.
Yeah. I just pick him up and I just crouch down and just by his legs just whoop like I'm throwing a caber and he's just going directly up.
Amazing.
Team
I don't know
Rocket
why,
lands
but-
in the sky.
I don't know why, but Goblin Space Program really gets me. Yeah, that they're just it's just like a really strong orc, ogre, or giant, and they just see how hard they can get tossed.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing would be if this goblin doesn't come down.
That would be funny.
It gets caught in the tree.
Also, to reply to the comment earlier of I didn't miss this time. I like to think that Flicker's had previous times where he's had to try and do it on his own adventures, where he's like, "This should work," and where he saw something that he can get if he shoots it correctly, he'll fall down on an opponent.
Yeah. So, there's a cockatrice who is picking at the unpleasantries of one of the goblins.
All right, this is on you. So
And several deceased goblins.
Hmm.
And one who is currently being gagged by spider silk.
So was going to like just kind of like hand like palms out, like looking at the cockatrice's like torso instead of its face, and is just going to just try and like, we are friends, pretty bird, and just like, do I know what they eat?
You should know what they eat, I would assume.
I'm
What do
assuming
they
it's
eat?
like various meats.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
No.
Tell me its
Wait a
favorite meat
minute,
that
wait a
it,
minute.
that it hunts for in the wild.
It enjoys like venison. Why not? So was going to like just quickly, like with one palm out, just slowly reach into her pack and just pull out another ration, which is just like deer that she hunted, like while she was back at the thing, and just it's jerkied, and just kind of once again repetition of before, just place it before the cockatrice and be like, "See, friend."
Give me nature.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Well, it should be the one roll I fail. 14 plus. So that's a 20. That's a 22.
It does lean over and peck at you at the area right next to your hand, which is actually where your hand is, which is a little bit confusing to you. But the creature does take the strip of jerky and begins to slowly back away, and
Soba stands up, happy with herself. See, we did not have to hurt the pretty bird.
We can still eat the other one, right?
Wait, she's just gonna just lean and be like, wait till the other one is gone.
Well, yeah, obviously.
it doesn't take long for the cockatrice to bugger off. It's not, pleased with being here.
Good news, though. I know several cockatrice recipes. You ever had them deep fried?
No,
I
I
can't
don't.
say I had. No.
Yes. Ones back home tend to turn into stone, but if you fry them quick enough, but these ones seem not to. So, easier to cook?
Mm-hmm.
We should get going.
Okay,
Dog friend, hello.
Hello, Zoa. Good to see you. And
What are we gonna do about
I sent him into space?
Maybe not. I mean,
Actually, quick question:
dear.
Is he like,
oh dear.
oh,
There we go.
is he tied up like he can't see anything, or is he just body tied up?
I don't think he can see anything, but it has nothing to do with being tied up.
Oh.
True.
No, it's because his eyes are filled with capsaicin.
Oh yeah,
Eyes are
that
currently
is
the
true.
size of pomegranates.
That is true. That is completely
And about as
100%
red.
true.
Well, we have a few options. We could interrogate them to get some answers about how many prisoners they have, or we could do something about. We could just probably keep them under wraps and maybe figure out how many goblins are left on that hulk.
So what's funny here is the fact that it's like, well, since he got blinded, I think before Soba came out, so he probably didn't see any of us. We could try and gaslight him to helping out in some way, like we're saying, oh, we came in to help. Also, what is, oh, that I did not like that image. That feels more like he got stung by a bee, by bees, rather than...
The actual thing is lacquer poisoning, but...
Oh boy. And that and the author of Dr. Stone can't draw, so.
Great then.
So if you're gonna pretend to be slaves, Soba and Cece should probably fuck off then, right?
Yeah, before he gets fight, but first we should probably like, out of his hearing. It should be somewhere over there.
We have a camp. We could just snap his neck and move on. You still with us? It was more here.
As he says that, Rodolak comes in. He's like, "Well, hang on now. I mean,
Yeah.
like, do we have to resort to that right away? I mean, look, just because we've paralyzed them doesn't necessarily mean we have to kill them. I mean, there's due process about this kind.
Dogfish just gestures at the other 8 dead goblins around.
Okay, you make a valid point. However, it
we
feels a
don't wanna
tad
kill-
gauche to do this to one that's just completely helpless.
We don't want to do that
I don't think
here.
I don't
We don't want to leave the body here. It won't look like it was killed like the other ones.
Yes. Also, I don't think there's anywhere in the Great Dragon Knight book handbook about anything about killing defenseless prisoners.
Well, I mean, like, are we sure that the paralysis is not going to is going to wear off at all? I mean, like, it's...
I don't think this one is paralyzed, as the goblin is still, like,
He's bound in spider silk. Is what it is.
sneezing and coughing and spluttering.
As
Could make him.
Rodolak side eyes the cockatrice, not looking them directly in the eye, and it's like, I mean, right now they aren't.
I ask
Well,
friend. I ask friend to
living-
look at him.
The living cockatrice is. I think it's going to be a while before he's able to look at anything.
Wait, what?
I said I think it's going to be a while before that goblin is able to look at anything.
Ah.
Make a good
I
point.
like that we have to consider possibly washing out the goblin's eyes so that we can give the cockatrice treatment.
I mean, I was about to say Soba could paralyze him real easy.
I feel like I might have umbrage with the method though.
Well, no, he'd just stretch his legs out, put him against the log, and then she just kicks really hard. Like,
Sova is chiropractor.
yeah. Went to holistic medicine school, learned chiropractic. Only 3 survivors so far.
So a pretty normal track record. Yeah. This guy takes place in using slave labor, taking slaves. Pretty fine with just and make a crossing my neck motion.
It's not exactly the sort of thing that I do. I'll leave that decision to all of you, but I helped where I was able.
I'm going to be honest, I always kind of hate these kinds of moments because it's like, on a practical level, we should probably get a prisoner and try to interrogate them. On the other hand, then it's like, well, if we let him live, it's gonna be potentially problematic, and I'm just not that kind of guy. It's just like,
It'd be like a whole thing.
Yeah.
but it happens way too much to me, and I don't like it. Let's see. I said, a potentially useful thing is to gaslit him, and to saying, "Oh, hey, we helped," so that we have like, I don't know, a little bit more credibility on the ship, so people suspect us less.
We shouldn't talk here.
Yeah. Let's probably get to the camp first.
Soba just grabs the goblin's leg and just drags him behind us. Dunk, 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 dunk. Just like his head just bouncing off of like pebbles and shit.
Ow! We hear like a ow, ow, ow.
I mean, dude is probably sobbing. So
Yeah.
What's a little bit extra?
Hey, look, he does slavery. Soba does not think he's a person.
We have our camp just a little ways away.
yep, let's go.
Follow me. Dogfish starts walking out. I'm gonna use this hut here as an abstraction. It's not actually that close, but
Yeah. It's like, oh hey, we made camp here. Okay, then we made our camp over there. Oh, how did we miss that?
Man, this world's a lot smaller than I would have thought.
Yeah.
How's the mouse folk?
Honestly, knowing me, I probably, if you left this to me, I probably would have made you the whole forest.
Hey, it's good to see you. How have you been?
Oh.
Needing
Is-
some
is the- is-
answers.
Is the fighter guy here the one who's kind of a dick?
Yeah,
I
that's
think that was the one who just greeted us.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Marcus.
So Soba's just happy to see all of A Team again until she sees Marcus, and she's like, and she just like, she's like, oh, Soba thought you were dead. Shame.
Ha! Not yet. Not yet.
I've apparently brought a present.
Ugh, one of those blighters. Well,
How long have you been here?
about a week.
You haven't reported in a considerably long time. We thought something had happened to you.
Yes, people back in town were worried.
Yes, well, there was Look, we heard some rumors of the goblins, and we sort of have a personal issue with slavery, if you understand it. So, yeah, we kicked off. Sorry we didn't leave you a note or anything. Surprised you found us.
Soba
Wasn't
just kind of like
easy.
slow blinks, and she's like, "You realize town is dying, right? They think there is no hope, and they're all going to die. Kind of dick move, honestly.
Have you met the
yeah,
mayor?
Yes,
Yes.
also kind of a dick.
I'm pretty sure he always thinks that everything is dying. He's absolutely insufferable. The town's in a fine position. And these people, however, are not. Well, actually, the problem is that they're in a decent position. They're actually being treated well enough that it's difficult to convince them to do any sort of uprising or revolt, which is actually quite infuriating.
That sounds pretty frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Let me... Come, sit down. Oh, did you bring the cockatrice with? For cooking?
The dead one, yeah.
Yeah. Maria will. Who's gonna help carve that with?
Soba will.
I guess I'll help Car because I got some.
Oh.
Now that
Okay.
the
Cooking
combat stuff
experience.
is resolved too, there's also the venison that Cece roasted earlier for everyone too.
True. Well, I'm sure that you have some questions, and I'm sure that we have more questions than answers. But we can let you know what we know.
How did they get the Hulk all the way up here?
From the looks of it, they had several mages on board who were just generating as much force on it as they could. It's actually not that far from the beach, but they kept on propelling it as best as they could. It'd be...
Up the mountain?
Oh no, you came down the mountain.
Yeah,
Oh.
we came back down
Yeah.
the mountain, yeah.
Yeah, you're not
came
too far
back
away
down
from a beach.
Yeah, like on the main map, it's like, I think there's a river leading into it.
Oh, the map's not
into the
here.
mountain.
No,
Yeah.
it isn't. That's what I was like, Wait a minute.
Yeah, we're like... The hulk is only 2 or 3 ship lengths from the shoreline, I imagine.
Yes. And the shoreline is just mostly goes into the woods. It goes up to the woods.
Hmm.
But tell me, how did you find us?
Well, first, we went up to we found some kobolds. I believe they told us yes. They told us they saw you passing by in this direction. The scouts helped us out a bit. And then we went aboard the ship in secret, and then we found a dogfish over here.
Dogfish silently nods.
And then he just led us back to your camp.
Well, what we know is this. They forced the slaves to talk in a pidgin dialect. It's basically using common with the grammatical structure of Goblin. It's a wretched half-language, but by doing it, it robs them of their agency and control. It makes them feel like this is part of a new society.
There's a structure?
Yes. That's the problem.
I was under the impression that they were doing it because the goblins didn't want to deal with the idiosyncrasies of common and just preferred them to speak under that one. It seems a little bit too thought out for them to go into psychological warfare like that. But that's me.
I
I
agree.
would have thought the same, but they know how to break slaves. They're convinced that there's no one else in this entire continent, and they are fed hearty enough meals that they are able to do their job, and they're scared. They're scared that if
Yeah.
they leave, they won't have anything left.
Why do I feel Marcus telling them, like, hey, you're free, is just like, he's just such a dick that they just don't believe him? Like, hey, I'm not going with that guy. The goblins are better. Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't seem like he has the best
there's-
bedside manner.
Yeah, there is that argument like, oh, you're in a precarious situation where unless someone convinces you that it is true, you're not exactly going to go out of your way for this kind of steal.
Yeah, like, Marcus isn't exactly John Brown here, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
So, Soba,
Yes.
you are carving the cockatrice, and
Yes!
as you're cleaning it and beginning to gut it, your knife scrapes on something.
What?
Well, that's
I
a
had
curious
a feeling
sound.
about that.
She's gonna make the wound channel wider just so she can just see inside what it is.
Are you seeing anything metallic in there?
Yeah, Flicker's curious looking into it too.
Then she just kind of like she digs her thumbs into the wound channel and just starts pulling it apart.
The liver. It's still attached, but it is metallic.
What?
Rotolag
Well,
folds
that's-
his arms and looks down at his. He says, "Well, it was only reasonable that they would probably have that would be affecting the animals, same as the plants around here."
Soba's gonna try and pull the liver out. Like, she's gonna try and find where metal turns to flesh and just sever it if she can.
You can.
Can I help her
Jesus.
with medical knowledge
Absolutely.
or something?
If anyone wants to roll any combination of medicine or nature.
Oh,
Hey.
Soba was just gonna
Oh.
just grab the tube and just go up the tube until she felt something squish.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I got-
fine. It's,
Well, I got an 18, so I'm gonna participate in this. 18 plus plus 6, so that's
Okay.
24.
16
Okay.
plus
I had a
8, that's
23
also
myself.
24 on nature.
Okay.
Looks like you guys got it.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
able to extract it, and it is effectively that one organ, and like a couple centimeters of the the vessels and the pathways that lead into it. Cass, you simply recognize that it's not cooked yet.
Is this mithril just like the plant?
Yes.
Wait, I might need a reminder. When did we find these?
A while back, when we were making our way towards the lair with the kobolds and the dragon, we came across a plant that seemed to be made entirely of metal.
Ah,
And
Okay.
Cece found out that it's mithril.
Mm-hmm.
We
Right,
found
right.
another back in town as well.
I don't remember the town one.
That CC.
Yeah, that's because that was just Cece. That was just Cece and Soba, yeah.
Cece and
Oh,
Soba
okay.
just kept it quiet for now, to
Yeah,
until we knew more at least.
and
Right.
Soba replanted that one so it could try and grow more. So this is a lot more. So is this thing mithril all the way through?
You can't get it cut it open, so it's difficult to tell. But the pathway leading
Right, because
into
it's
it.
mithril. Shit.
May I
But
make
the
a
pathway-
suggestion? Oh, sorry,
Alright.
you first.
I
The
just
pathway-
wanted to say. Okay, so I'll wrap now. I'll
Jade
shut
first,
Hi.
Yes.
then Negus, then Polearms. All right. Roll.
Roll initiative. Kidding. I just want to say that the pathways and the fluids leading into it do appear to be organic, but the liver itself is it's not solid. The pathways lead into it the way it would if it were natural.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
so I
I
just
just
have one
want-
thing I want to say real quick.
You,
Okay,
you
you-
first.
Real quick, then Magus and Polearm. Soba's gonna pull the flesh part off the metal part, and she's just going to put the metal part of the liver up to her mouth and just blow, just to like clear it out. Just...
I don't
Ladies and gentlemen,
imagine.
this is how bagpipes were invented.
It is.
Just you gotta clear it out.
Part of me is like she does that and accidentally he blows it into Flicker's face.
Oh.
I don't even know what's inside a liver, honestly.
I don't know either. That's
Oh.
that's why I'm just saying it so generally.
Gall and bile.
Hmm.
Yeah, you gotta clear it out. That way we can turn it into weapons later.
I was actually going to say I should probably know how to like reforge mithril. I should probably have that knowledge.
Anyway, what
Why
I
does
was,
no one know how to pronounce mithril?
Go ahead.
What the fuck?
Go ahead, Rodolak.
Nice.
I have a theory on this. Given that this, as he Rodolak kneels down and looks over the liver, he looks up to Soba and says, "Are you sure? Did you find any other body piece of this that was made of mithril?"
No.
So was going to shrug and be like, "Well, I've not finished butchering yet, but I can look."
Would you terribly mind doing that for me?
Speaking of butchering, I may have a purpose for the stomach lining and intestines if we have a job coming up that I suspect we might.
Sausages.
Danger sausages. Not for eating.
Oh. Soba said, but Soba will butcher the animal. She'll take out the organs that are like edible. She'll leave in after checking they're not metal, but the ones that are problems she'll pull out. She'll check each one. She'll check the bones, the liver, the lungs, all the heart. She'll basically check them all, see if any of them are any part mithril, because she knows that you could make a bitchin' sword out of that.
None of it.
It's just the liver.
Only the liver.
Just that the liver
All right, then
isolated.
that's what I need. That's all I need to know. All right, so it appears I'm going to be using this based off of my medicine roll, which I got a 23 for.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what's going on, it appears that there's some type of liquid in the soil, or some kind of fluid that both the plants and the animals here that are consuming that is slowly metallicizing parts of their body. It might be some kind of alcohol or some other thing that the liver needs to process, but it's the one that's being affected first. I have a feeling that our friend over here, our other cockatrice friend over here, might be experiencing something similar. And the question is, what's contaminating the water supply for this kind of thing? Do I need to make a roll to make that kind of conclusion, or
Oh,
is
you
that
can
just
make
a shot in the dark?
You can make that conclusion. I just won't be giving you any information about it yet.
That's fair.
Soba just kind of slow blinks, and she's like, "Is Soba going to be made out of mithril?"
If we end up drinking certain things in this land, possibly, we'd have to look and investigate the water. But I'd probably say we might need to filter our water in the meantime. Actually,
Fascinating.
He blinks and turns over to Soba and says, this might be a little bit macabre, but could you do the same thing to one of the goblins that have already died?
She kind of like thinks for a moment. She's like, "I do not think goblin tastes good, but okay." And then she just goes and
not
just
really
does
for the
does
taste
it.
so much as, oh, you're
Yeah.
already doing it. He turns around and quickly.
Yeah, yeah, like she's just under the assumption you want to eat the goblin, so she's just like, okay, friend have weird taste, okay. It just starts doing the exact same.
Well, my brain is like, is it funnier if you're like, oh, you're already doing it, or somebody else going, she's already doing it?
Or just like I'm saying it to Soba mid sentence, looks out like, oh, excuse me, hold on, turns around like it's like they're changing their clothes.
You gave her a task, and therefore she will do it.
Yep.
She's a very simple lady.
I could begin work on a particular project to not say anything too severe, at least. I'm assuming that all of you have intentions to destroy the Goblin Hulk, correct?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I will suplex it.
We've been trying to foment unrest, trying to see if we can't get them to, abandon it, dropping clues that there's a city to the south, and just trying to foment the idea that a rebellion could be successful, but, well, frankly, they're afforded some freedoms and are given food, and for several of the people there, that's enough to stay. We've railroaded a couple of them out of here, and that's all we've done.
Rodalak stands up and looks at Dogfish and says, "Look, as much as I am a proponent of agency, as much as the next Fox person, they don't really know much of anything else. So the fact that they're just going to be making this decision on their own is not exactly an informed one. So we might have to end up. So we're probably going to have to end up forcing their hand a little bit.
I agree.
Fomenting unrest is all well and good, but we don't exactly have time for that kind of thing. You're needed back at the place where we've got free people that need you right now, and they're willing to put us at risk to come and rescue you, to try and make sure that you come back. You are important
Rescue
elsewhere.
us? Rescue us? We're the ones out here doing the rescuing.
He turns and says, "Yes, but you were gone for a considerably long time. There was no guarantee we understood what you were doing out here. Like it or not, you have a responsibility to the people that came on this expedition.
Lines of communication are important to avoid such misnomers.
We have a responsibility to free slaves. That's the top priority. The town of free people will be fine until this is resolved.
And you're not entirely sure of that. If you end up taking the long road on this one and end up freeing these people, where are you going to take them to if the town ends up, being swallowed up by the wilderness again?
Several of them
I
are
understand-
craftsmen and workers. None of them who are allowed to permit to be there are not able-bodied. We'll bring them back to town and they will help it. This helps the town.
My point is, we're
Can't
going to
save
need to
the
come
town
up...
if the town's already gone. Sorry.
My point is, we're going to need to expedite the timetable on this uprising that you're planning.
Roll diplomacy if
And
you'd
we're
be so
here-
kind. Sorry.
Say again?
Roll diplomacy
Roll
if you'd be so
diplomacy.
Uh,
kind.
All right. Sorry, am I like leaning in on this a little too hard?
No, you're just rolling it. You're just leaning in hard enough that
Oh,
it's going. That a die is going to help determine how it goes.
25.
All right.
26 since this is pertaining to our investigation.
You're right. We should get. Yeah. The sooner we get them down into the town, the sooner the better. We can be back there. We can protect it. They can help out. You're right. I say full frontal assault.
I have an idea
Well,
that
actually-
might be somewhere in between the two,
Well,
if you don't mind.
Well, actually, I have some few suggestions. While I was on that ship, I saw a myriad of ways that we can force everyone out.
Oh, do tell.
The sail is being held together by rope, and I don't actually know, not just the sail, the entire main mast. So that will immediately cause a lot of damage. The bottom parts of the ship are practically drenched in flammable material. If I so much as remove a single string, their rudder wouldn't move, and I'm pretty sure I could sink and make the ship inoperable and unlivable in an hour.
I was actually going to consider, first what we should do is get a head count on how many goblins are on that hulk.
So
Have you been able to get a number
136.
from them? 136. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Be a bit much for us to take on, but
How many
how many
indentured
slaves?
are we dealing with?
40. Give or take 1 or 2.
40.
It may seem irrelevant, but is the beach sand or scree?
Scree.
This will make my life much easier, thank you. And she is already, just mentally doing some math on the side.
Oh no.
So, just to so you don't forget. Soba's been taking this goblin apart. Is any of the goblin made
Yeah,
out
that's-
of metal?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Soba will take the stomach lining and intestines and give them to Cece as well. It's like more for danger sausage.
I have a bit of an upsetting revelation that I'm just considering. So remember that research preserve that we ran across that had everything eviscerated and the like?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they were looking for the same thing?
Possible.
I don't think that anyone who would be looking for the same thing would have the ability to also organize every tree and shrub by order of height as well.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, what?
A very strange location that we passed through on the way here.
Wait,
But
it wasn't like that when you passed this way?
What? No. Tell me what you're talking about. It was just woods we passed on the path.
So it happened after you left.
The edge of the woods before we entered the mountains. And will kind of, I imagine, relay exactly the scene that we had seen.
Yes, we took that path, but we saw nothing of that form.
I'm writing this all down.
And Jade, do you mind if I give you my mental idea at least?
Go ahead.
Basically, what I'm imagining is, making a functionally an ether bomb sealed in gutskin. And
Ether
making
bomb?
one of those is a bomb made with ether.
Mm-hmm.
So a small amount of heat causes it to rapidly expand and then combust in air temperature.
Okay.
So, presumably if its intestine is similar in percentage volume to the human intestine, we've got a lot of intestine to work with. So filling said intestine with ether, even if it's only part way, it's going to, subject to a little bit of heat, expand tremendously and provide a great deal of force when it detonates. Which would be enough, especially on a beach of scree rather than sand, probably dislodge the ship and let it slide back down into the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then my thinking is, because now I have goblin guts and stomach and everything as well, making a few smaller bombs that also happen to be filled with something akin to lantern oil, or otherwise ethylene, which is required in the process of making my ether anyways.
Yeah? Okay.
Which would then cause, alcohol fire basically all over the interior of the ship.
Yeah?
As well as exploding several chambers and completely removing their structural integrity.
That would work.
They would do that.
And so Cece's just gonna kind of like relay her rough mental math. And yes, Shooty, that was something I was kind of counting on. There's a thermobaric effect. Basically, this rough plan, if my mental math is right, which is like really only approximate ballpark anyway, it would be enough to reduce a ship to flotsam in a couple of minutes.
Oh no.
So Cece just kind of like presents her basic math to everyone and like, do you think that would force the slave's hands enough?
Oh, I don't know how Soba would say this, but like, if you force them out, they'll probably resent us. You know? It's like Vault 101 in Fallout 3. Like, yeah, leaving Vault 101's a good idea, but if you force them out, then...
Well, it's also just the fact that it's like, well, you force them out, but it's like then you don't allow them back in because you're an asshole, and then you get shot in the heart.
Well, you know what I
Just
mean. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
The material that I'm presenting, at least, is just a means of removing the goblin hulk. Precisely what we do with that information and material is... you are the ones in charge.
I feel like it's too dangerous to have people aboard while you did that. You want to save them, not incinerate them.
Agreed.
That's why it would functionally be an evacuation warning. If you wanted to charge the place in a full-on assault anyways, it would be functionally the same thing. This would just at least reduce the odds of ourselves getting riddled with arrows in the process.
Ha! I like how you think.
This is just a rough scenario altogether, because if they really don't want to leave, whether we force them out by killing all the goblins, we force them out by setting fire to the boat.
Why, yes, Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game. How did you know?
I find it really, I really do find it funny how that game is associated with a certain demographic somehow.
Because like, how many days away from Knife Point are we?
You are a good without the kobolds' help, you're probably a week's hike. If the kobolds help you through the mountains, it'd probably be cut a couple days off that.
Yeah, so like, how many of these slaves will actually get to Knife Point? See, that's the thing. It's like, if we force them out and we go, oh yeah, there's a town a couple days hike over a mountain, they're gonna die.
Well, we'd have to have the A-team escort them, because this has like been their priority up until this point.
Do you trust Marcus to actually give enough of a shit to take care of people?
Actually, I
don't.
do.
The alternative would be establishing a new town here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be like another
Supervision
thing.
for that one.
And the thing barring such an event from occurring would be goblin resistance, correct? So
Yeah.
a nuclear
would.
option in negotiations, so to speak, might be...
And the Hulk itself is a solid setting for a town. If we can let them reclaim it for themselves, then yeah,
Yeah.
they have the workers and the skills necessary to survive.
It's just Rivet City.
I mean,
I always love that in Fallout 3, like where the city is built on top of a aircraft carrier. That was incredibly cool as a concept to me.
it was a cool design, but poorly designed to navigate.
They
Oh,
should have
man.
built on top of
And-
the carrier, not inside it. That's just the dumbest part.
Well, no, it's also the fact that they just left out certain details. Like, why isn't there a farm on the top of this carrier?
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Anyway, yeah.
sorry. We so the idea would be that we could potentially get them to, refashion the Hulk into a bit of a town.
I mean, in many ways,
Is
it
that
already
the idea?
is. Yes.
It would be enough at least for temporary shelter before a permanent lodging was ever established.
There is
Yep.
enough. There is enough
we can help them
wood
establish
to-
trade with.
The only concern I imagine we have, besides the obvious getting the goblins to agree or removing the goblins as an obstacle if that were the alternative, is that the goblins have presented an issue for the kobolds.
So, are you thinking maybe we can get the kobolds to help us with this?
I think that negotiation with the goblins is something that we should attempt. But to do so, we need to have an emergency option in case they decide, with their superior numbers, to simply kill us instead. The finer points of negotiation are not my forte.
No, but you have built a very
Chemistry,
large bomb,
mathematics.
and at
Chemistry
the very
and
Oh, I can
mathematics,
help.
however,
I can
are
help.
something that I can do.
you
I can
have
help
built a
with
very
the
large
bomb.
bomb, and at the very least, that might be leverage to get them to want to talk.
I can help with the bomb.
I'm gonna be honest, Soba could just push the Hulk down a hill.
You could.
Like, literally, just get her at the base of the hill and she just pushes, like, just tumbles down. It'll take care of most of the goblins.
The trouble with that, though, is that, we would be pushing it back into the water, and it's already a boat.
Yeah.
I
And
could,
not if
big
it
chunk
lands
of
upside
the-
down.
I could offer you a couple of lightning and fire runestones if it would help your craft.
Oh, that way it would.
I will need temperatures approximately enough to melt iron.
Actually, can I help with that? Maybe, potentially.
Yes.
I assume it's out of my ballpark, but I'll just ask just to be safe.
You can certainly give me a hand. I can have something that can be that hot by morning.
Hot,
I
hot,
feel
hot.
I feel like the oh no, the plan is failing option is just so, but because I feel like if it rolls down the hill, right, it's gonna lose enough parts from the shock, right, that it will just sink.
But, like, trying to flip it over seems like it's a big reach.
Okay, so when I'm raging, I have... So if I get enlarge cast on me, right? And then I rage. And, like, I think I can do it. I think I could do it. Like, if I'm reading my stats right, like, what size category is the Goblin Hulk in?
It's like a skyscraper. Like
Yeah.
that
So
is
would you say
well outside of
is
your.
It's
Yeah,
just like
what we sailed on before was functionally a galleon, I believe.
yeah. I think
Okay, am I misunderstanding how big this thing is?
A
I think
galleon
you may be.
is like
Yeah.
a galleon is like so big that you could probably tip it on its side while raging.
yeah,
The
like
Goblin
for
Hulk
more.
is like 10 to 12 times the size of the galleon.
Oh, I thought it was the
Hold
same.
on.
Okay, sorry.
No,
I think
No,
that's
that's why we call it a Hulk.
Here, I'm gonna
yeah.
put something in.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Here.
Yeah, it is
I think
absolutely
Jade posted
gargantuan.
picture. Plus, I think Jade posted pictures of roughly the idea of the thing.
Okay.
I just reposted
Okay.
it too.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's on me. That's tabletop
Also,
sim
I'm
scale.
sorry,
Okay,
but the whole
completely
time-
all good. No, this thing is like the size of a city.
Yeah, and
honestly, if-
Cece is presenting basically something it would have a blast somewhere in the realm of the equivalent of like a 500 kilogram bomb at the keel.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just gonna dislodge the whole beach.
That could move it. Sorry, go ahead.
And then several
Honestly-
smaller explosions inside to remove structural integrity so that when it hits the water, it starts to sink and collapse under its own weight.
Okay.
Flicker would probably argue you don't even need the bombs. You just need to like a hammer.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would need to be level 7 before I could do that.
Also, if I can say
So-
something,
So-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Flicker.
sorry.
if this campaign revolved around this Hulk, or a good chunk of it would have, I probably would have made a model of something at this point. of it.
Yeah. So
Or
just
tr-
to
or
make
try
it
to.
So just to make it sound like I'm not crazy, at level 6 I get giant stature, which makes me by default a large creature. And then at level 7 I get Titan Wrestler, which lets me shove, grapple, and trip things that are 2 sizes larger than me. So I'm huge. I'm huge. Sorry, I'm large. I rage. I count as huge. I can push things that are 2 sizes larger than huge, meaning I can push things bigger than gargantuan. So yeah, I would need to be level 7 at which point I think Barbarian just gets insane.
I mean, it's still a sanity check sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not. Like, if the
I
DM says
feel
no,
like-
DM says no. It's just this fucking subclass is insane.
Yeah, are you strong enough to move just about anything? Sure. Can you literally move a mountain or pick up a 20-story skyscraper?
Depends how funny it is.
It's probably the point that she could dislodge it and start to push it.
Yeah.
Are
might
you just
be able
are you just
to,
Ed's sister? Are you just
Sorry, go ahead.
Ed's sister from Ed, Ed and Eddie? Where she can
I
just pick up a
I might just be Sarah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you guys
So,
like. I was gonna say that's not even the silliest thing that happens with this subclass, but that's for level 5.
oh no.
Oh no.
Don't worry, I'm sure level 5 is still a ways away.
Yeah.
Yeah, about an hour. Well, if it comes down to arms, I can at least say I don't think that many of them would raise arms on behalf of the goblins. Though unless there's something that swings the battle against them, I don't know that they would raise arm against. At least not yet.
Well, I do suppose if we end up having to go down the negotiation route, I'll probably have to be the one to spearhead that a bit.
I can help you.
I get. Really. Let me check something.
So, I'm thinking this first strategy that we could have is we could have the bomb as our opening gambit of like, we'll blow up your house, but we want to negotiate.
I simply need to be able to demonstrate the capability to do such things, and I think that will be plenty to allow them to open their ears. And so I have this, and she just like lifts the goblin stomach. Why is it dripping still? Anyways, it's the smallest of them, but should be plenty to provide us something to bend their ear.
Well,
We could-
certainly better than nothing.
We could also see if the kobolds want to assist, or Emu. She wants to come out of her cave.
Well, most of the kobolds, most of the elderly kobolds have like scale rot or whatever it's called, and the dragon is half dead itself.
Sure.
So we'd be bringing in the young, and I kind of don't want to cause that entire tribe to lose the best of a generation. I don't know.
Well, we don't have to have them be shock troops. There are other things they can do.
They are kobolds.
Okay. Well,
Bringing at least one kobold so that their interests are represented would be ideal.
well, and Emu might not be able to get around a whole lot, but she is still a dragon. She does still breathe fire.
And that boat is made of a lot of
Don't
flammable
think
materials.
that her health would allow her to make such a trip easily, though.
Not easily, but it's for the safety of her people.
Likely at the cost of her own. Can you
Well,
imagine the harm that would be wrought if she weren't able to return?
It would be devastating, but I don't know. I think it's harder to kill a dragon than that.
It is still an ancient dragon, for the record.
I mean, she's also starting half dead.
Yeah,
Soba?
but finishing the job is difficult.
Yes.
It's mostly the inability to fly.
Yeah.
And frankly,
Oh,
depression.
okay.
It's mostly inability
Okay.
to fly, and frankly, depression. It's there's a big part of
Okay.
the Queen of the Skies not feeling that she's
And it's
Okay.
and it,
Okay,
and it is-
I was reading her condition as her health being in significantly worse state.
Yeah.
I mean,
great,
it's not,
but-
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not great, but from what we saw, the biggest impetus is just she can't fly. That's not great, and she's kind of sad. But I did not remember anything else bad health-wise.
Okay.
She got tired,
Right.
but
My
we wouldn't have
worry.
her for a protracted campaign.
My worry is that she knows what was sealed in Knife Point, and now, and seeing as it's not there, like Jade could come bring that back to bite us if we don't have the ability to figure out what it was. Like, no offense, Jade, but I generally
Hi,
try
how's it
not
going?
to give DMs the ability to just be like, ah, yes, well, this this one person who knew what the big bad's weakness is now dead. Good luck, idiots.
I mean,
Well, we could disable some of the ballista.
just for the
Easily
record,
enough.
you have connections and resources.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say on that front, and you can do with that information as you wish.
All right, so resource 1, big ball. Resource 2, dragon.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Resource 3, a big rock.
We could
It was
also
a big
get
rock.
the Gripply. Every time Soba says big rock, I think of
Yeah.
it was a big rock.
Yep,
It was-
same.
Yeah, we all grew up with animated series.
Yes.
We all know that, right?
I think for right now, our priority is just securing the conversation in the first place.
Yeah.
Then we can worry about bringing allies into it. Has everyone agreed on that?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. If we can get them agree to agree to the thing, then we can tell them the kind of resources we might be able to pull in, but we have to have a need for it before we can do that.
Are any of your faces known already?
They know Flickers,
Yep.
they know Rodelax, and they know Okas.
I've been involved in there for some time. They recognize me as a worker. I've been trying to sow seeds, trying to tell them about the town, place that it's safe. So I'm well known to them.
I mean to the goblins.
Yes.
And ideally not your undercover identity, at least.
Indeed.
It would be good to keep that undercover identity, just in case, I imagine.
They also will recognize Angela. I may have torched a couple of them on the way in.
Then it may not be the best that your voice be the one they hear for negotiations. No offense.
Perhaps not.
And she just like scoots her chair backwards a little bit.
Perhaps not.
Cece has just like historically never been comfortable with Angela, so
That's fair. No, that is. And by the way, Cece, Angela is working on some fire runes, and you can feel you Rodelac and Koss can just feel waves of forge hot energy radiating off of these. Like, these are strong.
Yeah,
These are
I
going to
think they'll
supplement
work.
your work very, very nicely.
Why Kaz?
Kaz is the characters that are more attuned to magic.
Ah, okay, fair.
Rodelac is attuned to magic, partially against their will. Kaz is heavily attuned to magic, and Cece, well, is non-practicing, has the academic side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you recognize them as being very good runes. You recognize them as being very high quality, powerful runes. But
Yeah.
the other members of the party are just like, oh wow.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. So, who are we going to have representing the voice for this negotiation?
Well,
He says,
I don't-
like, looking up from his notepad, completely oblivious.
I was, and then we all like look at him. We just cut to everyone looking. You-
Marcus stands up and says, "I will." To which Maria immediately shakes her head and just like, no, you will not.
So I was gonna say, Stobo is about to just German suplex him into unconsciousness.
Rodolak, I think that you and myself, speaking among the people there, would probably have the best chance of success.
You think so? I've never really done politics before. Mostly it's just
fuck
been
off.
paperwork.
Wow. Okay.
You know what? That's be in character. That's in character. That's Soba saying, "Oh fuck off."
I must agree with Soba. That sounds like bull hockey.
I haven't.
I've seen how you
Because
talk
I know
to
how
people.
to have a conversation. Goodness.
Just knowing how to have a conversation
we go
can be
into his
enough.
bag. There's just like transcripts of C-SPAN. I read them for the articles.
Sick stuff.
It's like in
considering that I can't consider that in any other context. Of like I read the C-SPAN transcripts for the articles. Yes. What possible alternate method would you have?
I wonder.
You're a numbers file or something.
Oh, the senator's filibustering the bill, you dirty girl.
What?
Flicker, may I borrow your assistance for at least the preliminary work ahead of.
Oh, of course. I'm always willing to help, especially in those of a crafting nature.
And especially just because I've already said some specific details about the thing that we're planning to make right now. I'm gonna not specifically say any other ingredients, even though I've spent the past few minutes doing the chemistry research to make sure I'm not totally crazy.
Hey, everyone watching, want to know how to make thermite?
Everyone want to know how to make ether?
Who wants to be on a list?
It's a very fun.
I would-
So many lists.
I would
Disclaimer
like
to YouTube
There
and
has
Twitch
to
TV.
be-
Please do not
there
use
has
anything
to
in this
be-
stream as a condolence for using any kind of violent behavior whatsoever.
There
What
has
is this
to
for
be-
non-violent
I
purposes?
imagine-
Go for it.
I imagine like the number of people on like watch lists has to be at least like 30% TTRPG players.
Unironically.
I can't
Unironic.
imagine making it through 2020 without being on a list, personally.
I'm
Anyways.
just imagining CC. I'm just imagining CC gives gives me a Flicker a book, and he just goes, "Oh, what an interesting little book!" And it's just the Anarchist's Cookbook.
Soba's looking through it. Soba does not see anything that looks tasty in here.
Hey, so someone put a link to that in chat.
I think-
Do not do that thing. No, do not do that thing I just said.
I think what CC actually has, odds are, is it's probably like a water treatment safety handbook. And it's just like, this is how you make these different things. Make sure the water being routed through these districts does not reach such temperatures. Does not does not pass through these regions of a city.
Why do I feel like that's like the kind of shit you would see like during Prohibition? Be like, hey, you've bought this desiccated vegetable thing. Hey, whatever you do, don't add water and leave it in a cupboard for 3 weeks. Don't do that.
The big thing is Cece's like whole background as an inventor is that she was a civil engineering student.
Yeah?
So it's just she's got a background in all these different chemical processes because she needs to know them for the sake of making concrete, for making safe drinking water, for avoiding sewer explosions.
Yeah. It's like that guy in England, the Ludi, the guy who got around the gun laws by saying, "Hey, gun laws don't work because you can look, I can just make an SMG in my garage and it's fine." And they arrested him for it.
Anyways, so
Sorry. Point is, so long as you have engineers.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna head back to the ship. Keep my cover.
before you leave, Dogfish, maybe take a brief look around for any relatively low traffic chamber to the aft of the ship, near the lower decks.
Okay. Well, I'm scheduled for wood chopping in the morning, so I can come back here during that time.
Hello?
I'll let you know what I have.
Yeah, my internet likes to die around
Welcome back.
time.
Welcome back.
So if you
Missed
guys said I did not hear past like chemical processes,
We just made a whole bunch of war crimes. Don't worry about it.
oh no, I'm sure that's where this was going.
Is it even
Dogfish-
D&D if you don't do war crimes?
Right?
It's
Dogfish
really not.
Dogfish is heading back
Dogfish
to the
has-
ship to keep his cover and is going to scout some stuff out for the party. That's where we were.
That is fair.
I would say that about 90% of the knowledge that I've used since we arrived here is not what I expected to be bringing to the table when I was hired for this expedition.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, it's only 50% that feeling. I knew I was gonna be making explosives. I don't know why, but a good chunk of my characters so far have been heavily explosives based that I've made throughout playing TTRPGs.
I was saying it in character, but
Oh, okay. Sorry, it can be difficult to tell the difference.
yeah, I can't really do different voices very much.
I know. I tried to keep it in mind, but it's like it can be difficult.
It's
It
all
also
good.
depends on the
Sorry.
kind of.
So what is your plan right now?
We were going to start with the planting the bomb, right, Cece?
Well, I need to make the bomb first, which requires me to make a couple of
Okay.
ingredients right now, and then to have a great deal more heat for processing further ingredients in the morning
They-
once Angela has finished preparations and for the runes, which will make it possible to finish the work.
So was bringing just bringing up like while all of this science shit is going on, Soba's just bringing like a pot of oil to fucking do a fry and just like getting ready to just dunk like cockatrice drumsticks outside of her wheelhouse, going making some chicken.
Really,
Uh,
honestly, Soba,
anyway,
it's a different sort of meat and a different sort of oil, but a similar process.
Did we want to rope in? Did we want to rope in the kobolds for this?
I don't think. I think just getting them to agree to a conversation doesn't need the kobolds' involvement.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
Is
try
it
to get them
okay
to agree to it.
travel there and back, and then also to get the Gripply involved for traveling there and back.
Getting the Gripply are a ways away from here.
Yeah. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to send one or two people to the Kobold and see if we can get them to help, and then send another person to the ship to see if we can get them to get people to agree to the revolution.
Well, I think securing negotiations first. Then, when we return over the mountains and head to the Gripply homeland, Marcus, Maria, Angela, and Dogfish in their return to landfall will be able to stop by with the kobolds and confirm their involvement. And then we will arrive with the Gripply when we resolve issues there. We'll be able to let them know of the talks, and we'll be able to, as long as we predetermine a date, we'll be able to send everyone to meet and negotiate at the same time.
Do the people on the ship have? Is anybody sort of in charge of them among them.
I think one of us might have actually scouted that out, but I'm not 100% sure.
There's a war chief. 2.
A goblin
actually.
war chief?
2 goblin war chiefs.
I figured that would be
Okay.
the case. Yes.
Well, yeah, I also meant like among their captives.
Oh. No, that's pretty flat.
Okay.
There's occasionally a shift leader, but it rotates. So no one who has a lot of clout if you're looking for that.
Wait
Okay.
a minute. Are these slaves doing socialism? Holy shit.
They're
They're
doing
They're
the
slaves. They're kind of
bottom
are
tier of
constitutions.
they're the lowest caste.
Yeah. They're the proletariat. Yeah.
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 Look, all I'm saying is that they're based.
Based on what?
It does seem a little bit unusual that even amongst the slaves there wouldn't be some clique of some sort. At least from what I'm led to believe, most any such similar social circumstances ends up with a clique or gang of some sort.
Dogfish is just like, oh yeah, there's this guy with like this big beard, calls himself Carlos or something. I don't know what that's about.
I like the idea that once, like... Sorry,
There's-
go ahead.
There's various minor factions within there. There's groups and whatnot, but anybody who fancies themselves a leader quickly finds themselves getting worse jobs. The goblins don't let somebody rise up to actually have any real sway. I've been dealing with that. More along the lines of union busting.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then we find out the 2 leaders, Elon Musk and Differ Bezos. The 2 goblin war chiefs.
Oh, God.
The Goblin War Chiefs, Long Musk, and
They're trying to sell the slaves on, like, no, this is actually good.
I mean, yeah, well, that part is
Pesto.
well, that part is absolutely correct. They're trying to sell the slaves on the idea that they don't have any other choice. They're trying to sell the slaves on the idea that being here and being our captives is the best choice you have because there's no other cities in this land. There's no other paths you can take. So
We
Well,
just
at
find a
least the
cubicle
lies-
on the
At least their lie is more believable.
we find a small cubicle on the ship, and the slave's like, oh yeah, that's the mental health cube. The goblins let us go in there for 5 minutes to scream and have mental
God,
breakdowns, but only for 5 minutes.
Why must you remind me of the mental health?
Because I have a friend who works in one of those centers, and
Oh,
it's real.
God. I'm sorry for your friend. Jesus.
Apparently,
I
they
don't know what
take
a
time
mental
in there
health-
out of your paycheck too, which is just like the worst.
I don't know what a
Of
mental health
course
cube is,
they
and I
do.
don't want to. It sounds
Anyways.
extremely dystopian.
Okay, yeah,
it
sorry.
is extremely dystopian. Anyways,
Sorry.
no, you're fine.
All right.
All right. So let's go ahead and get this going, shall we?
First we make us the bomb with the professional bomb maker. He doesn't look at him the self, but he is a professional bomb maker at this point, whether he wants to do it or not.
So, how
It's
do
honest
we
work. Yeah.
how are we going to initiate these negotiations?
Well, as
Hang on, my mouth is full.
I'm assuming that's the character.
No kidding.
Yeah, you're
I've
yeah, you're
studied,
Go ahead, Sprig.
I've studied at the Magic University. It was the Archmagos of Warfare's department typically, but I did learn a little bit about a display of force tactic that was often used.
I agree. I was going to propose that we find a monument in the nearby area as a representation of what we can use to blow up. Is there anything around here that might be...
The ruin is within eyesight, and would make for a rather dazzling spectacle.
As much as
So
I would be remiss to destroy a historical monument, I believe that it would be for the greater good.
Soba just thinks for a moment and is just like, you are very smart, small one. Soba was just going to throw Boulder through window. Long tradition from where I am from. Throw Boulder through window.
Oh, actually, I have an idea. We still have the goblin, right?
Mm-hmm.
We tie a message to the goblin and then Soba
Throw goblin through window!
Yeah! We're Ralphing him!
Well, I think that just releasing the goblin with a message is just going to prompt search parties, which is going to make preparations for this more difficult initially.
Yes.
Well, I mean...
we...
Do you want conversations or war?
Ideally, a conversation.
Then I would not suggest releasing that goblin.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's what I'm going to propose. We set it up to destroy the monument. I walk up towards the ship with, our biggest and scariest members of our party flanking my either side. And when I say, I've come to negotiate, you blow up the thing behind us. And that will make it clear that we mean business.
I think a signal might be required so that it doesn't make it seem like a potential coincidence. There must be no shadow of a doubt that it is exactly what you wanted.
Do you have a signal flare?
Okay.
I could craft one.
That would work.
Okay. So it'd be something that... What does Rodolak have magic? I forget.
Not really.
I was gonna say, if we had some way to just do, the Tony Stark thing, he's just standing there in sunglasses and a suit, and he's like, I've come to negotiate. He snaps his finger and, the fucking mountainside blows up.
I mean, I can bluff.
He's pretty good at that.
I believe I have a spyglass.
I'd be a level 20 dark wizard.
I have a spyglass too.
Oh, actually, I have a signal whistle. Even better.
But unfortunately, I'm less like Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man, and more like Robert Downey Jr. in Sherlock Holmes. I probably smell less like urine, though.
I mean, that's a good movie, though.
Cece will turn over her signal whistle. Just blow two puffs into this, and that can be our signal. So, at least in theory, the detonation of this device, if I were to eyeball it anyways, should release a concussive wave enough to demolish most structures. The bigger issue is the rapid expansion of gases and ability to ignite atmosphere that is still within the concussive blast. So, I also need to be able to detonate this without being near it.
Oh, I can probably help you with that. I can probably figure out how to have either a fuse that works based off the gems, or some kind of sonic thing. Flicker. Yeah.
Perhaps a conductive wire combined with one of your electrical runes?
Ooh.
Do I have
You're just
Probably,
making a fucking solenoid?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Neat. Neat.
Flicker? You could also have one of your contraptions detonate it for you.
That is true. Like,
Rip in peace contraption.
I do need to like. I mean that's the thing. Essentially, like, since I can make pretty much almost anything per day, well, within reason, I guess. I should be able to make something that serves as essentially like a triggering device or a magical triggering device, small magic level, that is.
And I think something just for theatrical flair, if we can find any native copper, would be excellent. After all, an ordinary flame is impressive, especially if it levels a building. But a green flame is spectacular.
Ooh, I agree with that. Ooh, I agree with
bet we
that.
could probably get some from the kobolds.
It would take as many days to actually get it, though. So, being able to find some locally would allow us to continue at our current timetable. I don't mean to fully hijack the discussion regarding this currently. I feel like I'm talking a lot more than I'm used to.
No, I'm enjoying hearing CC just fucking go full Oppenheimer.
You're just being demo man. A pinch of potassium sorai and kablooey.
Like actually, I'm unironically really enjoying just like CC going full Oppenheimer here. I'm down. Meanwhile, like Soba's out here cooking, just like living in a Barbie world over here. Just is so above her head. She's just like, yes, fried chicken.
Honestly, to add to the Oppenheimer thing, the fact that she also has like flicker with her, so it's like, yeah, there's the movie right there.
Anyway, so I guess we'll take that time to get set up, and then get ready to do this. Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Jade,
Captain.
Jade, I have a question.
I am Jade.
The dust of creation that makes furniture.
Uh-huh.
Do I know how to make it, like, trend towards a specific type of furniture? Because I have another idea for, intimidation.
It would take some experimentation that would take up a bunch of that dust to be able to learn it. So, innately, no. If you spend the time to learn it, yes.
So, Soba's idea was to arrange, like, sticks and stuff into, like, a palanquin. And then she could just carry Rodolak on her shoulder on this fucking big-ass palanquin. Because, like, how big is Rodolak? How big is he? He's not super big, right?
I'm tall, but I'm not heavy.
Yeah.
You could definitely throw me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Same here.
But, like, just get you just, like, this, like, big bitchin' palanquin and just, like, on Soba's shoulder. Just, like, gentlemen, I have come to negotiate.
Just grab CC, like... We just need to find, like, a small, like, creature for me to pet, and just, like, I have to negotiate the terms of your surrender.
I'm just being silly. I just recognize I have this pouch of dust that does nothing but make furniture. Like, this isn't D&D. I can't just, like, use it to make a chair and then use it as an improvised weapon. I don't have Tavern Brawler.
I really wish that Tavern Brawler was just something you can pick, and it's just something you're given.
It is in Pathfinder 1. It's in Pathfinder 1, but not in Pathfinder 2, which is really silly.
Weird. Anyways, So this is the plan?
Sounds like it from what I've gathered.
Yeah.
Are we?
Okay. This is gonna go great.
It's gonna be great. It's fine.
Is our plan to try to do this to make the goblins leave?
More to make the goblins, give up the slaves and basically start, collaborating with the idea that they should probably start playing nice with the other people of this region or run the risk of getting obliterated by every other civilization in this town.
Slavers, no slaving.
Okay.
Well, that was easy.
Alternatively, they blow up, and then the slaves that are left can build a town that we can help with. I have a really stupid idea, though. Soba, how good are you at cooking?
What skill maps to cooking? I mean, I have a +6 in crafting.
I mean, that's a good question. I technically also am, well, for a squire.
Is it crafting or nature?
Yeah, I mean, if it's nature, that's better.
A big part of it is the question of, like, so if you want to go, like, crunch, that depends on where you're crafting. If you're in a kitchen, it would be crafting. If you're in the woods, it would be nature. If you're in, if you're making poultices, it would be medicine. But honestly, the bigger question is, how good is your character at cooking? That's what I care about, is your character going to be good at cooking?
I think, so Soba is a big lady. She eats a lot. I think for the amount of gains Soba has, she needs to be able to cook decently well. I don't think you get as fucking built as a Goliath unless you're eating like really fucking well.
My argument for Flicker is just he has to cook for nobles, so he had to learn how to prepare food pretty well as well. That is my argument.
You know what? Soba reaches into the vat of oil, just like literally just bare fist, like really quickly, just. And she just pulls out this perfectly breaded, like fried, like cockatrice drumstick and hands it.
I propose that my character does have rations, but a small portion of the rations was dedicated to like various spice packets and the like, because he's a bit of a dandy in that regard.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That I will sacrifice one of my rations to share with Soba to. As I present to Soba, I need you to craft me the finest fried chicken sandwich you can possibly build.
She takes it, and she gives you a sou. It's like, will not let you down, and just immediately just goes back to, like, making the most bitchin' chicken sandwich she can.
Just imagine Flicker being like, you really think a chicken sandwich is going to, like... Is that important? It's like there's negotiation hinges upon it.
Like Soba has just hyper fixated like around the pot. Like she's making sure that the oil is the exact right temperature. She's like portioning the chicken exactly right. She's got like a meat thermometer from somewhere, God knows where.
I probably gave it to her.
She's like a cooking savant.
I like that. Well, the thing is, Flicker would probably not say a feast can make or break our mood. A bad feast can put the people that are at the feast in like a bad mood. Yeah. And especially with the fickleness of nobles. Food affects mood. Flicker
I feel like Flicker and Soba would come to food in like two completely different opposites. Soba would be like, diners, drive-ins, and dives, and then fucking you've got like Flicker out here being like, yes, today we have for the first course, like just it's like the pure difference of like, this tastes good, but it's bad for your heart versus this tastes good, but there's like half a fucking portion.
Well, he has, I mean, he doesn't mind a chicken sandwich. It's just that the people he has to cook for, he has to please.
I mean, that's the fun part, though. It means, like, if we're going to to deal with nobles, they probably won't want Soba's food, and if we're dealing with the common folk, they probably won't even want to touch whatever the fuck you're making.
Well, I mean, he can still make a good chicken sandwich, though.
I mean, yeah, but like, I wouldn't trust Gordon Ramsay to make Guy Fieri food, and the vice versa.
It's true.
Anyway,
that is fair.
Yes.
I turn to Dogfish and I ask, were you able to ascertain what the goblins were looking for out here, or was it mostly just them taking root in this place?
Taking root. This is an untouched countryside, and they want to make it, well, they want to multiply. That's why there's already 2 war chiefs. Eventually, they want to split off into different regions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way...
honestly, with how little opposition there would be to them out here, I could see them taking over the entire lands. That's my fear.
Buck asked the question, does Flicker have draconic resistance to fire? Can we pull a Dread Pirate Roberts and set him on fire? He has resistance, but I don't think he has that much resistance. He just doesn't burn as easily.
Oh no.
We just need CC to make some special effects gel.
I've done that.
She's already making a Moab. I mean, this does not seem like it's out of reach.
All right. Are we ready to negotiate?
Yeah, the unfortunate difference is that a Moab is much more stable.
Yeah.
So, are you so you're gonna go to bed and wait and do this in the morning then?
Yeah.
Is that the plan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dogfish goes back to the ship and, yep. They have some extra beds. There are a couple of former slaves in there who in more of a burrow. Part of it is a tent, but they've also carved out a bit of a burrow beneath it. And there's also a couple of escaped slaves in there who just kind of nod their head and greet you. They look somewhat broken, but also with a little more of a spark of hope. You may converse with them if you'd like, but there's room enough for you to sleep on in pieces of dirt. And beds would be too generous a word for it.
Mm.
But it's not uncomfortable, as things go.
Okay.
I feel like on the road like this, when we're having to improvise a bed, Cece is just going to, she just, like, props the seat back, leans back in her chair, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. The night passes uneventfully, and the dawn breaks.
All right, we stretch. I will approach. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So, preliminarily, just for safety's sake, before we finish the construction of this particular device that I intend to build this morning, don't transport it in the sun. Don't touch it with bare skin or scales. Just don't allow it to get worn under any circumstances until you want it to go boom.
Oh, okay.
Is this understood?
Yeah.
And then Flicker is about to have a sneeze.
Oh, we don't have it yet. I just want to make sure before we craft this
Yeah.
that it
Yeah,
is
that's
as
fair.
clear as possible.
Angela hands you 5 stones, 2 lightning and 3 fire, with runic engravings. The fire ones have some very thin lines on them. Usually, you make the lines on the rune thick because the runes keep it together. And if one of them gets scratched out, then the whole thing would just immediately disperse its magical energy. And yeah, a couple of the lines are paper thin.
Oh.
easier to detonate that way.
And Cece's like she's got her hands up. She's like leaned back in her chair, not touching the runes. if you'd be so kind, Flicker, would be wonderful.
Here you go.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Master crafted fire rune, three fire runes and 1 lightning rune, or 2 lightning runes.
No. She said something to me, to Flicker.
Yeah, if you'd be so kind. Like she's not touching the runes. She's actively avoiding coming near them.
Yeah, he'll of course help out with the runes.
All right, I need a crafting check from each of you. I need a cooking check from Soba. And Rodelac and Costa, what preparations will you be doing if there's anything else? We're just getting into place, are you?
Getting into place.
Oh, nat 20!
Oh!
That's a
Nice.
32.
It's a 32. Oh my goodness.
This is what you get when you have the bomb maker extreme.
I only got an 18.
I'm going to say I'm using nature because I'm using the campfire and I'm doing like outdoorsy kind of cooking, folksy kind of shit. So that makes that a 19.
All right. The food smells delicious, and well, Sprig does assist Flicker to handle the majority of the bomb making, seamlessly integrating and weaving together the various parts of the rune stones into the grisly but ornate device.
Ah, my finest work.
It well may be.
And it is basically just a goblin stomach full of ether and kerosene and a little bit of copper powder.
All right.
Anything you can think of that we should do to get prepared?
I think we've got what we need right now. I've got I look over to Soba and I check to see how that chicken sandwich came out.
Looks real good.
I'm going to grab it and I'm going to wrap it in the most delicate of elven leaves. This is going to be a very important piece of this as I pack it into my satchel.
I'm sorry, I completely disassociated for like 30 seconds. What happened? Sorry.
I took the sandwich.
Okay. Sorry. I
No
just
worries.
straight up just disassociated.
All right. We ready to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
go.
I, Dogfish, and Soba will approach as brazen as we can be.
Dogfish stayed the night on the.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Right, sorry. Who's the other who's our second biggest?
I'm not physically
Marcus.
very intimidating, but I think that I could. Hold on.
Marcus is a dwarf, but he stands tall. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I can also throw him through a window if we need to, so. God, I hope I can throw him through a window.
And Cece's going to have one of her spiders carry the bomb.
The spider
Just
probably
because
looks
it
very
doesn't have
proud.
body heat.
True. And it might be slightly more delicate than Flicker's creations. All right.
Flicker's creation probably blow it up by looking at it, let's be honest.
Hey, I got a nat 20. This one's properly crafted.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Anyway.
So I've got the flare. I've got the two at my side. As we approach, I put my hands on my hips As I, do we have the name of the chieftains?
Yes. You can let me know what they are.
I can?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I have to resist calling them... I have to resist calling them Musk, and Bezos.
Yes!
Go for Bezos and Elos.
I have to resist that. I'm not doing that.
No,
Jeffy
no.
Besto!
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I was really hard trying to figure out what an alternative name would be, but
It's too late. It's too late. It's War Master Bezos.
Bezos and Muskie.
All right, I propose
Yes.
Chieftain Floorbore and Chieftain Crackanut.
it works for me.
But his friend calls him Muskie.
You know what? I'd accept
You are. Is it Floorbore or Crackanut that they call him Muskie? Because I feel like the latter would be problematic for a number of reasons.
Oh my god.
No, it's Crackanut. Nope, sorry.
Gross.
He doesn't take a shower. Like, they have fully functional showers. He just refuses to use them.
It's not a D&D,
Anyway.
it's not a TTRPG if the players don't come up with some kind of gross sounding thing.
Look. If I had to deal with the Kobold unification movement in my campaign, you gotta deal with Muskie, alright?
All right,
Floorbore
Oh,
and
I just realized what that spells out.
Yeah, my players didn't give me the end of it for like a week.
Oh. Well then.
Also, the naturalist is frozen up in the tree.
Yeah. I think he's still
Oh,
stuck
yeah.
that way.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
No, he hasn't come down yet. He's still up
Nope.
there.
He's
in
still up there.
space.
All right.
As what do you call it? I'm going to give my best. Would it be intimidate? I think this would be intimidation
Mm-hmm.
to start off, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Do I get a
absolutely.
bonus because of with the bomb that's going to be used here?
I'll give you advantage.
Oh, that's not
Roll-
great, but okay, I'll take it.
Roll twice. No. Advantage. Roll twice. Take the highest. That's.
I
That's
know.
very good.
It's more of the idea that I don't roll very well.
I believe in you.
Oh
Now
no,
you
you
have two chances to.
I believe in you.
You have 2 chances to roll poorly now.
Go for it.
All right. So, should I say my thing first, or should I roll first?
Roll first, and then you can adapt what you're saying based on how it comes out.
Yeah.
Oh. Lay it on us.
9.
I mean, a 9 with his bonuses.
Oh, good. That is a 9.
That-
That is a 9 out of 6. Okay.
Did
Yeah,
you-
For a second, I thought that was a 6.
Did you have advantage, or did you already roll twice?
Yeah, he
Oh,
rolled with
I
advantage.
got a
already.
12. So that's 10, 11. That's 12 with my intimidate. But here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Goblin Hulk! I refer to the chieftains Floorbore and Crackanut. I've come to bargain representing the nation of Knife Point. If you do not acquiesce to my request for a parley, we shall be forced to use force. As I launch the flare. A demonstration of the power set before you.
The kobolds are all asleep.
And on the signal, we detonate the charge.
Okay, upon the detonation going off, Rodolak immediately stumbles forward and hits the deck. It's like, that was way too close! Oh my god!
As you turn around and say that, Rodolak, you see a plume of red smoke and mist pouring out of the top of this out of the remains of this ruin, flying directly into the sky and spreading out, painting the entire landscape in red as a gentle rain of what appears to be blood begins to start falling on you.
There were people in there. What the fuck?
I believe this is a really good place to pause the game.
Yeah.
Okay, either we killed all of the refugees or we just unleashed Satan.
Yeah. Fucking like Soba's like we just end like freeze frame. Soba turns to Rodalak, who's still kind of like curled up on the floor. She's like, "You didn't check it for fucking people."
I didn't
And
think
then just
I
cut the
thought that would be
credits.
an unspoken assumption.
It was just this that exploded, and you did a resoundingly good job doing it. But you also have tampered with artifacts and magics that you do not understand, as you know occasionally happens.
I like the idea that Flicker looked at this and went, I believe I might have gone a bit too far in some places.
Did you know, Flicker, that it is possible to roll too good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did.
You know, I'm something of a war criminal myself.
Notes I'm writing right here.
I think the book of Draconic Chivalry would frown upon this.
Also, you can you can check the Discord and see what what those are my DM notes while you guys were making the plan.
Working on the risk, Kobold chieftain floor boring using chicken sandwich. We might have blown up Satan.
Oh no. the face palm on the kobold.
Oh boy. Fantastic.
I'm going to weave this into a positive because those goblins are gonna be like, why did you unleash Satan? I said, because you wouldn't talk to us. That's who you're dealing with.
So just to be very clear in terms of the imagery on present here, so I'm sure that I followed along. So the explosion was mega huge, I'm guessing.
The explosion was very large, enough to level the structure. Leveling the structure. Go ahead.
I can put a GIF in the channel really quick. This is the kind of explosion that we're making.
Yeah, that seems about right.
But in addition to that, a plume of red mist has just gone up and spread out over the countryside. The sun is now shining down in a red glow, and a blood has started to rain from the sky.
We blew up the devil.
I really.
So you can add that to your intimidation check.
Is that
where we get the
powder into that? So that explosion also is green.
So it's
so there's a
Christmassy.
massive green fireball, and then just blood starts falling from the sky.
Oh, yet again, I must repeat myself. Was this some explosion unleashed on the ship or somewhere in the forest?
It was
Like
on
This was this building.
Oh, okay. When you said structure, like I kind of confused, and especially when you said, yeah, okay. So I kind of confused. I thought that was unleashed on the ship, and I was like,
Cece's, that was her ideal target because it was a structure that they knew that was made from stone, that was within eyesight.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Good. Good. Because my brain.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Sensei.
Yeah, because my brain was going like, wait, did we just level the ship?
No, you blew up 4 statues whose eyes were crying red gem crystals.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Oh, that just screams curse. Why did we do that?
I don't. Well, for one, I forgot that was a thing.
Cece is very much an individual who asks the questions of what can we know,
Also,
not if we
Dogfish
should.
said they were just
No.
dog. Sorry, you first.
Like, Cece is just the Giga Chad meme. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
She is absolutely the what can we learn with science, not what should we learn with science.
Also,
Meanwhile, the three of you are just
said that they were just setting up the territory. They weren't looking for some ancient devil ritual thing.
I mean, why did they build on top of the devil then?
Well,
Meanwhile,
in
the
our
three of you
defense-
are marching onto the strip, onto the ship, like what was it, like Captain Lively, or what's his name?
Yeah, it was Captain Lively.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, you said that they were just trying to settle in. It's like, what makes you think I would have known this? You had 2 weeks to figure this out.
Well, they're certainly not settling here anymore.
I mean, hey, maybe the devil's friendly.
Well,
We had
I mean,
a high-level cleric and wizard both here to investigate that building. CC figured that if they didn't shoot down the idea of blowing up that building, they already did their due diligence.
honestly, here's the thing. I mean, all I knew was like, oh, there was some of that dust there. I don't think it was established that there was either A, a lot of dust there, or B, something of note
Oh no,
there.
there was a ton of crystals there. We knew that from last session.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? That's on my brain then, because I completely forgot about that, which is also very in line with Flicker.
Maybe we're just really lucky, and we found the melting point of those crystals, and it's not actually blood.
Yeah, maybe. But also, we're getting rained down on with liquid fire crystal. That's probably not good.
Well, so,
Not fire. But...
well, on the plus side, if this doesn't convince them to just surrender and worship us as gods, I don't know what will.
I mean, at the very least, if there is a devil in there, I guess Soba gets to suplex Satan. I guess that's fine.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if there was a devil there, it's back to where
Not there anymore.
Right, yeah, it's about 500 meters in the sky, coming right down.
And if you want to be metaphysical, even if it's a curse, like a non-corporeal, if it's a non-corporeal entity, I think that killed the curse too.
Hey, Jade, do we get a level up?
Thermobaric explosion. This isn't like, even if you're non-corporeal, if you have a physical being of some sort, you're not there anymore.
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
That 20 for that bomb making from that bomb making class came in handy. I'll tell you what.
You guys are fantastic.
So
I have a couple questions. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so if we level up, Soba's a unicorn now.
Congrats.
Don't quite. I don't know how it works, so I'll have to figure it out with Jade at some point. But yeah, Soba's a unicorn now.
Is one of the questions how'd you convince the dice to give you 20 on that 20?
I trust the dice to do whatever's funniest, and I am not disappointed.
Honestly, funnily enough, the dice do not disappoint me on that level that often, because whenever it really counts, they always pull through with a good number for me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is why we're playing a game with dice in it. Sometimes they suck, and sometimes they blow up the devil.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. No matter how angry I goddamn get, I still have to remember that fact that it's like they are the leading cause of the anger and the happiness at the same time. For me. I think you should just delete that. That should not be standing there anymore. Yeah. I mean, hey, it even has like a crater-looking area already, so that's perfect.
Yeah, see, there you go, it works.
It basically would be scattering some burning rubble because of the kerosene.
Alright, I think I gotta get going. I gotta get myself some dinner.
Yeah, I gotta go
Cheers.
soon.
Cheers.
Oh,
Bye.
God,
Have fun.
I don't know if you got to, before I go, I don't know if I got a chance to mention it. Did you hear the Lackadaisy Kickstarter finished, or backer kit finished?
How much
I
was it?
did.
I know it's over $1 million.
$2,013,000.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice.
That's good,
And
right?
I'm going to be, yeah, no, that's very good. We hit all of our goals. I'm
No,
going to
that's
be,
excellent. I'm very
I'm going to
happy
be the
for you.
sound designer on that one, or the lead sound design.
That's phenomenal.
Nice.
I'm so
Fucking
happy
look
for
at you.
First thing I'm going to do is there's a car show next week in my area that has a bunch of vintage vehicles. We're going to try and find somebody that's got like an old Model T and record some audio of
nice.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I mean, hey, it works for Foley.
So, questions I have real quick though is A, how do you feel about the campaign?
Very
Having
good.
fun?
I thought it went pretty well. I mean, I know that
Wonderful.
like we
So
were
far,
a
pretty
little bit
good.
weird about our alternate way of going about negotiating this stuff, but
Oh, I love it though.
I was pretty engaged with this.
I'm glad to hear that. The other question I have is, how do you guys feel about the other party?
In terms of
Because
the
I
18?
don't like them.
Yeah, the
I
18.
do not like them.
they're yeah,
I
okay.
kind of feel like that's the goal a little bit, though, too. So
Yeah. Like, I think Dogfish is the only one I like, and it's mostly just because he seems about as checked out with their bullshit as, like, everyone else is.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I might just be like zoning out a bit too much. I am not 100% sure on that, but I feel like I don't get a huge grasp of their personality based off of some of our current interactions with them. Either it wasn't enough or it wasn't
That's
like
fair.
impactful enough.
I mean,
That is the, like I said, it could be part of like I just wasn't paying attention enough, but I haven't gotten a big enough grasp on their personality.
That's
Like
fair.
if
DM
Angela is meant to be kind of sorry.
if I'm gonna say just one thing, like to go off that, like just as a like another DM, I do feel like they're a little one note, but it kind of works to make them hateable. Like Dogfish, mentally checked out because his party is full of crazy people. Marcus, the racist. Angela, the fucking sociopath.
I was gonna
You
say
know what I mean?
the racist.
and Maria,
The racist,
decent
the
one,
racist,
but...
the racist. Like
no, I mean,
Maria is
what's,
spineless. Maria
Yes,
is
absolutely.
spineless. I think that's how I would describe her. Yeah.
Can you remind me what Marcus?
The big things is we've got like Dogfish, who we like he's competent and he's kind of all business.
Mm-hmm.
So
And he's just about as done with his party shit as we are. Sorry.
True.
yeah. Maria is like, she is lovable and she is helpful and everything.
And she's
but
small.
a bit of a doormat and just kind of lets Marcus get away with whatever and Angela get away with whatever. Angela is like, she's competent, she's capable, she's also severely unlikable.
Yeah.
She's just kind of a bitch. She's a sociopath.
And Cece is just like, does not want anything to do with her.
Fair.
Marcus is like, he is grandstanding, he is like, he thinks of himself as above everyone else, pretty much. He is a character that I think we are meant to love to hate.
Yeah, exactly what I'm going for. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
their entire thing is two sociopaths, a doormat, and someone who's already meant to. Like, if you make them a D&D campaign, it's two murder hobos, a first-time player, and someone who's a veteran player who's just like, yeah, whatever, I don't give enough of a shit to correct
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Like, I think love to hate them is kind of what I'm going for. In general, I hate DMPCs. I hate when DMs add in their own characters to a campaign, and those characters are more powerful than the party. I think that's extraordinarily difficult to do well, and I think that it's in general something that should always be avoided. And part of what I wanted with them was explicitly to do a play on that, a play on the DMPC Mary Sue, except that no, they're all jerks, and they're not likable characters, but at the same time, they are dangerously competent at what they do. So you can't, they're forces of nature in a sense.
It's
They're
kind
less
of
like
funny.
the NPCs and more like the rival party, even though their goals are aligned with ours.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
It's
glad to
kind
hear
of
that I'm
funny.
pulling off one of my goals with it.
Well,
Yeah.
actually,
Sorry, go ahead.
I think I showed you this, Kennedy, but my Saturday campaign finished,
Yeah, I
and
heard.
here's the art. I always like ask after like a relatively long campaign, like if the party wants to have like a group portrait, because I just think that's a
Oh, that's
fun
super
way to
cool.
remember the campaign.
That's super cool.
I am the dwarf.
Yeah.
Nice. Also, one of the other party actually is a character from an old campaign that I was in. And
Is it Marcus?
I will leave it up to speculation which one it is.
I do want to. Sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to quickly say, I hope one of my like little bucket list things is that if I can help out on a game, especially an RPG, that a character that I get a chance to insert one of my old characters into the game, either like a side NPC or a quest NPC or something. I always thought that was like one of the. I always get very jealous when I hear like, oh, this was like an old NPC, an old character from like in Baldur's Gate from like the developers, and it's like I get low level jealous of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but I was gonna say,
it was a pleasure to have you.
I'll see you all later.
yeah.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna like add on what you're saying about the NPCs, Jade. I do think they can work, but like as the DM, you really do need to have that balance of not making them too powerful. Like the same person controlling them is the same person controlling the guys they're killing. If anything, you want to aim to make them a little underpowered. That way, it balances out.
In general, I agree, and my intent here is to make them overpowered but unreliable. Like they are, they don't follow exactly what you're telling them to do.
Actually, if I may add to this, the Saturday campaign here, the GM, due to the like setting and what was going on, we occasionally had to like get a DM NPC to help us out. Like it's either like an archaeologist, but it's like with magic, so they have like stuff to help with that, or like healing or stuff like that. So it's like they don't like take center stage. They have a practical use. They have a practical reason why they're there, and it never like felt like it was too much or that they cannot be killed or whatever.
Yeah, it can be done well. It's just very difficult.
Generally, one of the things that I do is like the closer that I get to a DNPC, I give them a hyper specialization. So like, there's an NPC in my Tuesday game, for example, who like I never intended for it to be a DMPC. It's not supposed to be a DMPC. It was supposed to be a one-off NPC. And then because my players invested in it, I invested more heavily in his story. So like, the premise was wizardry in the setting is very, very hard to get into. You basically need to be an elf to become a wizard. Because the only way to do it is to memorize and practice and practice and practice these extremely complicated formulae. So, there was an NPC who was a human dropout from that university. So I had to ask the question to myself, why is he a dropout? And the answer that I came to was, he doesn't have any sorcerer's talent, which is required to become a wizard.
Oh.
You need at least a little spark of sorcery so that you can start using magic. He didn't have it. He memorized and mastered the meta-magical concepts that made magic work, but he couldn't actually use magic. So because he never had that magical gift to actually use the magic, he doesn't have a preconceived notion of what magic looks or feels like. So he writes spells that are completely off-the-wall bizarre to everyone else, because he understands the underlying concept to make the spell work, and then writes the spell, but doesn't have the ability to execute it. So he just writes spells because he's obsessive compulsive about creating these ideas that come to his head. And
So
then
what you're
he was selling them, but then the party actually hired him to keep him on retainer as an arcanist to write new spells for them.
Oh, that's
So
super
what
cool.
you're telling me is he never rolled below a 19, is what I'm hearing here. It's impossible for him to roll a 19 on an Arcana check.
It's just, I don't have him do checks. He's just an NPC who occasionally makes new spells.
That's amazing.
Alright, well,
And originally, he was just a scrivener.
I think we're going to call it here. I think you were all wonderful, and I appreciate all of you. And I cannot believe you actually went through with it, you mad lads.
I absolutely knew that we were going to have horrible consequences for it, but I didn't want to say anything because I knew if I did that someone was going to tell me not to.
I just didn't expect the blood rain, really.
Yeah, you couldn't really have foreseen that coming, but that's just like you guys are playing with things that you guys are playing with magics that you do not understand.
Yeah.
All Soba knows is she was asked to make a bitchin' chicken sandwich. I still don't know how the chicken sandwich is gonna play in.
Oh,
like
I mean, it's like after you threaten them with the bomb, and they see that you're a menace.
Peace.
Then you
Peace out,
then you
It's
give
the
them
carrot and the stick.
yeah.
Except the
First you hit them
stick
with the stick.
Except they think you're responsible for the blood rain.
Welcome to Diner's Graphics and Dives. I'm
Tucker.
Stephanie Sobakov, and I'm here to show you this new cockatrice chicken sandwich.
We're
We are
essentially
1,000% responsible for the blood rain.
True.
Yeah,
True.
100%.
So we're like I said, I'm fully imagining a Road to El Dorado thing, where it's like we kind of accidentally made us look like gods or god killers or whatever, and it's like, well, I mean this is a bit better than when we wanted, but and I'll take it.
All right. I hope you all have a wonderful time. I hope anybody watching this had a great time. And oh my goodness, you actually did. Okay. Wow.
I gotta go get ready for my vacation, so I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.